Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the James Brown Podcast. I'm your host Raj, and with me as always is my co-host Spencer.
Hey everybody.
How you doing, man?
Excellent.
Why excellent?
Because it's just blazing hot here in Vancouver, and we don't get that very often.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the heat. No, that's a lie. I actually really like the heat, but it is extremely warm.
Well, I get really, really tanned really, really quickly. I'm one of those lucky guys whose burn turns into a nice, lusciously golden brown tan.
I don't tan.
You're golden brown lusciously all the time.
I was born that way.
You were born that way.
I was born perfectly cooked.
Yep. Oh. Okay. I don't know what to say about that.
So, this is Ghibli month.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is part 2 of our podcast. We just reviewed Lapida. We watched Pompoko, or what was it, Pompoko?
Pompoko.
Yeah, we watched like 20 minutes of that. We haven't finished that one yet. We're not reviewing it, but we're just kind of watching it
It's
for fun.
funny. I forced him to watch the English version because he forced me to watch the Lapida version in Japanese, which I was unused to. But
it works because
it does work.
They kind of do it like a documentary, and
it's pretty good character voices. I think they have some legit actual like
the voices
high-ranking.
are okay, I guess.
They're okay. I mean, honestly, but the funniness comes with all the puns and all that stuff.
The raccoons being lazy.
Yeah, it's funny.
And fat and just funny in general.
But we're not here to talk about lazy raccoons. We're here to talk about orphans.
We could talk... What?
And flying castles and stuff.
I mean, that's... What? We were talking about flying castles.
Yeah.
So what are we here to talk about then?
I thought we were reviewing Lapida right now.
No.
You just said this is part 2.
Yeah. Part 2 is the recap.
No, part 2 is Lapida.
No, part 2 is the recap. Part 1's Lapida.
Why would part 1 be Lapida?
Because we always do part 1, the review, and then part 2, the recap.
Is that really what happens?
Yeah.
We've been here that long that we haven't always do?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Then we're not here to talk about orphans. You orphans, go away. We don't want to talk about you right now.
So we haven't done Lapida yet.
No.
We're actually doing the recap first.
I was so confused.
You completely ruined it.
You confused me, man.
God damn it.
Oh, whatever.
We're reviewing Lapida after this one. Spencer felt like doing the recap first.
Yeah.
Fine. You just completely destroyed the illusion for these guys.
Well, whatever.
Great.
What? They think that we're totally separated from a review podcast and a recap podcast? Like we don't know what's going on?
Different entities.
Like we didn't record them at different times in the day? I mean, honestly, come on. Let's just do the recap.
Okay, hit the button.
We're going to hit the button? No witty banter about our lives at the beginning?
Oh, do you want me to tell a story then?
I want to hear a story.
I have a story.
I want to hear a story.
Okay, because I didn't want... Like last week...
They come here for the story.
It took us 20 minutes to talk about anime last week.
Most people drop off at about the 5-minute mark on our podcast, so they have to hear the stories. That's probably all they listen to.
Okay, there's a story I've been meaning to tell.
Okay.
And it's about your wedding party. Or wedding shower.
Oh, yes, the tell. Go tell.
Okay, go for it. I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, you go. Why did I tell you to go for it? You encourage yourself, Raj.
Yeah, go, Raj. You're awesome. You can do this. Yes, I'm the best. I can do it. I feel great.
Now I'm a little nervous. Oh, okay. I see.
Quoting Piccolo.
Oh, you're not talking Master Masculine?
No, I'm talking about Piccolo.
You can do it, superstar.
Isn't that right, James? Okay. That worked. This is the James Brown Podcast.
It did work.
Surprisingly.
I can multiply myself. I'm your biggest fan, honestly.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I'm pretty sure Sean's our biggest fan at this point.
He is. Actually, we got a couple big players now.
Shout out to Sean.
That Holmes guy. And
Go to Holmes, yeah.
Yeah, Go to Holmes. And what's his name?
He's the one who made the... No, look at Castle's the one who made the spreadsheet. Hey, thanks for making that spreadsheet.
I like your wine glass. Saw your picture. Creeped.
That's not looking...
What?
Oh,
if you put your profile picture as your actual picture, we're going to know what you look like. Clearly me and you don't look like what our big banner looks like.
So back to the story.
Okay, go ahead.
We completely got off tangent. So a couple weeks ago, we were kind of rushed for a podcast. Ironically, it was our longest recap. The one that we were rushed for time.
That was last week, right?
That was 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it was 2 weeks ago.
I thought last week was our longest podcast.
No.
Okay, we've been having long podcasts.
Yeah, recaps are getting longer and longer. But that week we had a 2-hour-long recap. And we literally, when we finished, we had 10 minutes to get to Spencer's wedding shower. And again, he gave me 24 hours notice, so I didn't have time to get
What do you mean again? Are you just repeating?
I'm repeating what I said before.
Okay, so it doesn't like it happened again.
Yeah.
Because I gave you like 24 days notice for my stag party.
Which is good.
Thank you.
So wait, you did?
Yes.
When's your stag party?
Like 3 weeks from now.
Oh, okay. You're going to remind me 2 weeks from now.
Okay. Like, how about I remind you a day before?
I appreciate a couple days before that.
Okay.
Might have to take some time off.
You don't? Okay. We don't talk about this. You don't do anything. When do you take time off, man? Like, whatever. Continue your story.
I'll have to stop being nocturnal for
We
that
rushed.
day. My plan, I thought of this, since I couldn't bring a gift, my gift would be you, bringing you to the wedding shower.
That's a cop-out.
But it worked. people were like, "Oh, that's you brought Spencer. That's awesome." Well, yeah, okay, that's good. So we meet up with your fiance. I don't know why I'm telling this story to you. You were here.
You like looking at me when you speak.
I do. Okay, so we met up with Spencer's fiance outside of the church, and then we headed inside. But right before we head inside, Spencer takes me aside and says, "Listen. Just don't compare things to dicks while you're in here." And I had no intention of doing this, but as soon as he said that, I made a mental point to compare everything to dicks as often as I could. I did, until I saw why. You told me not to say that. So we head inside. And among, there's a group of young people who are basically the bridesmaids and the other people, the wedding party. There's your parents and then her parents. And then there's 2 tables of just old white grannies.
Yep.
And I was like, if I even say the word dicks, they'll probably have a collective heart attack. And they'll all at once.
Oh, their pacemakers will sync up, causing this huge EMP field that will knock out all of our cell phones. And planes will fall out of the sky.
So I was like, okay, fine. I'll do what Spencer said. So instead of using the word dicks, I actually just used the word knobs. So Spencer, I'm hungry as knobs.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. It's very subtle. I was kind of overwhelmed at that moment, too. It was quite a lot of pressure.
So the wedding party, by the way, Spencer and I are really hungry because it was a 2-hour podcast. We hadn't had lunch yet. We were both promised food at this thing.
We were.
So we were about the same level of hungry. Maybe I was a little bit more. And Spencer's like, I'll ask about food. And they're like, little bit. We got to do some other stuff first. So I'm talking to other members of the wedding party. It's all good. Find a table at the very front. It was the wedding party table or whatever. We sit there.
You ditched.
I'm getting to that. Okay. And that wasn't my fault. So.
Oh, yeah.
Food is served. So we go to get food. This is where everything went wrong. This is where it started to go wrong. And I know exactly why. And I can't believe that this happened. So, some backstory here. Your fiance's name is Janelle.
Hello.
But her name is spelled differently than Janelle normally is, apparently.
It's spelled Jenelle. Well, everyone should spell it.
It's spelled in a way that my phone tries to autocorrect it to something else.
Janelle?
Yeah.
Yeah, J-A, yeah, I don't know, whatever. She's had a lot of life issues with
My phone is stupid. Because of this, just to make it easier on myself, I've been calling her Nell for 2 years at this point. So I'm used to calling her by a nickname. It should be noted that all the other members of the wedding party, I'm not really friends with. I mean, I know them, but I don't hang out with them or anything. Same with the bridesmaids. So we go to get the food. And by the way, really, this was lunch. It was the tiniest piece. They were I can't even call them snacks.
It wasn't lunch. It's an appy banquet.
It was terrible. It's not what I expected. It was not. Wait. It was not.
Delicious mini pizza things, and there was
Well, the mini pizzas were good. Too bad they weren't bigger than ants.
Bigger than ants?
Yeah, they were as tiny as
They
ants.
were at least an inch square. Come on.
They were tiny, but in terms of length, they're as big as ants.
How big of ants do you ever see?
I think the biggest one.
My aunt's pretty big, actually, about 5'9". Oh, what?
Wow.
Okay, continue your story. You hate my food. I'm feeling.
You didn't choose the food though.
A little self-conscious about this whole thing.
You didn't choose the food.
This is my shower.
You were as uncomfortable as I was.
Yes, I was. I was very uncomfortable.
So, I get my food. I get a glass of water. I head back to the table. Your goddamn nephew is in my chair, and it's he's taking it over. It's just he's stuffing his face with his food.
He's 2 years old.
That's what his age is. Okay, I was gonna think 3.
He's 2.
Okay, so. There's a 2-year-old in my chair, a kid who I barely know. And at this point, I have 3 options. 1, I bail out of this and I just leave. That was
going to make you leave? Honestly?
That was the one that I want. Well, I was already not having all that great of a time.
It's really sad, man.
2, I kick him out of the chair and take my seat back. And 3, I go all the way to the back where there's only one table left that isn't occupied completely. So I first asked him, Spencer, is it ethical to move a child? Push him.
And I said yes.
No, you said no.
Oh.
And then...
Well, it's because you said push him.
And the rest of the bridesmaids were like, oh, no, you can't do that. Of course not.
Honestly, you could have made him move.
And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to leave because people are going to talk about me if I do that. And then so I look at the back. I look at the rest of the tables. There's a table which is basically all the men, the old men. And they're all talking about fishing and stuff I don't care about. There's the bridesmaids table, which I don't want any part of. There's 2 tables of grannies, which I definitely don't want a part of. There was one table in the very, very back, which had one girl who we went to high school with and her boyfriend. And I was like, this is it. I'm about to become a third wheel for the rest of this wedding shower. And that's what happened. I go in the back, I sit there, and you're like, no, we'll pull up. There's these 2 chairs that kind of make a throne for the couple. And you pulled it apart. No, look, you can have part of the throne or whatever. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. It's going to look horrible. So I sit with the couple. And
at least let's take note that I was trying to get you back into the table.
You did.
I'm not, you know.
And I was, man, okay, so these two, her mom came, the couple's, her name is Stephanie. Stephanie, you and I both went to high school with her. And then she's relatively new in this relationship, so they're completely lovey-dovey right now. And then, so right away I was like, oh God, this is horrible. They're like completely into each other, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm just like, I have no place in this world. And then her mother comes to the table. I'm like, oh, someone to save me from this. But her mother's completely into their love, and she's like trying to goad them on, like, oh, you're so cute together. I'm like, why is this happening? Why am I suffering? And then I look at you, you're opening gifts, and I can tell you're suffering too. Because you have this look on your face like, when can we leave? And I'm like, at least, like, I can leave when I want, but like, they'll talk bad about me, but you can't leave at all. So,
all the grannies like, okay, let me take it from my side.
Oh, God.
I'm eating, okay, and I look over, and Raj is sitting over at the back table, but this is all internal. His face is I would give him a 2 thumbs up Academy Award, because he was like laughing and chuckling and oh-youing and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, look, Raj is hanging out with the only other dark-skinned guy in the whole, facility. Isn't this so nice? And I'm talking to John, like, look, Janelle, like, oh, yay, Raj. We're so excited for him.
I was in so much pain.
I have to sit on this chair and open gifts. And opening gifts is fun. Like, I'm looking at them right now. There's some of them really nice gifts. But the thing is, I don't know half the people.
A lot of them are pretty lame, though. Come on.
Well, they're all house stuff.
For men.
They're all house stuff. As long as my wife is happy, then I get my gifts later.
Someone got you pillows, Spencer. Who buys someone pillows?
My sister-in-law, not stepsister, that adds a little dimension that I don't have. Sister-in-law made those for me for hand, scratch, and they say love on them with Scrabble letters.
She stitched the love on them, but she bought the pillows.
No, she made the pillows.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, now it's not so bad. Anyways,
no, it's not.
I have to open these gifts, read the card, find the name on the card, then go way back in my memory to find this person. I'm like, I don't know who this is, because you have to like look up and wave and thank the person silently across an awkward room, right? So I'm like, who is this person? And she's like, oh, it's, we don't know. And so we kind of, I gaze the room around to see who's the most intent looking person. Oh, found her. Wave. She waves back. Success. So I had to do that for like 50 gifts. Like,
it took at least 40 minutes for
so
you to
that's
finish.
What I'm doing, having this like conniption fit, trying not to like offend anybody. Raj looks like he's having the time of his life.
I'm not. I'm just good at faking it, man. I'm good at faking it. Well, because I was talking to Stephanie for a while, just reminiscing about high school and stuff, which was fun. But then every time I did that, her boyfriend, the look on his face was like, he was like, why am I not part of this conversation? Like, I have nothing to add to this. I'm like, it's either her and I talk, or you and her talk, and one of us is going to be left out, because we have nothing in common between the three of us. And then like, her mother tries to get me a conversation. She's like, oh, what are you doing in school? I'm like, I'm doing this. And she's like, oh, that's nice. And the conversation just dies. It flatlines. And I'm just sitting there. And the guy's like, I asked, I'm like, when can I leave? And then Stephanie's like, when those presents run out. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a million presents there. I'm going to be here for the rest of my life.
I wasn't offended at that. It's not nice gifts.
It was, and you would look over at me periodically, and you'd like give me thumbs up, like, yeah, you're doing a good job. I'm like, I want to kill you so badly right now. I wish I wasn't.
I was
here.
proud of you. Okay, my awkward other brown friend Ray, who we talk about sometimes, I gave him 24 hours notice for this, and he couldn't come because he couldn't get time off work. And that would have made it a little better, I think.
If Ray was here, it would have been a lot more fun.
You would have mercilessly berated me, though, under your breath. You would have mocked every single nook and cranny of that shower.
Are you assuming that I wasn't doing that already?
Well, you probably were.
I was.
But you were OUing, and I couldn't even tell what you...
And somehow, okay, so there was your mother-in-law to be, had this wedding game thing.
Yeah, it was fun.
To play. No, it wasn't. It was stupid.
It was hard.
And then I won. I was like, this is so dumb. And then I won. I'm like, I don't want to win. I just want to leave.
You gave me those candies?
And then
I annihilated them in one day.
They gave me a bunch of candies. And I was like, I don't know. I remember what they were. One of them was a Reese's, and I like Reese's, so I took that.
You gave me a big pack of O. Henry.
That's what it was.
And some Snickers that were left over.
I was like, here's your wedding shower gift. I threw it at you. And I'm like, I'm leaving. Like, this, as soon as you were done, I was like, I'm out. This is the earliest I can leave. I'm gone.
You're very good at, making it seem like you weren't in a bad mood. Because, you seem pretty happy, man.
Like I said, I'm good at faking it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so never again. I will never, ever go to a wedding shower again. That was horrible.
Well, luckily, there was actually 2 other ones that I didn't have to go to.
Oh,
it was
good.
female only. And I had to go to this one. So,
Or at the very least, next time I go, I'm bringing my 3DS.
you know what? If anything, it was fun watching Janelle kind of soak it in. That's
For you?
That's a girl thing, right? Like, for me, that's one of the only things. It
All
was
the
nice
old
seeing my
grannies
guy
are like,
friends.
oh, look at that gift. It's so nice. And all the guys are like, why are we here?
Yeah. And it's kind of a true fact. And I was like, why do guys hate showers? And I looked at her and I said, you know what? Yeah, just don't have words. It's the environment. It's the situational issues that go on. Like, you have to appease everybody. We all want to be home on our couch.
There's one thing that could have saved it for me, but it's the one thing that you definitely do not want me to do. That was to bring out Drunk Raj. But
No.
you have forbidden me to bring out Drunk Raj anywhere near
You're not
your
even
wedding.
allowed to pre-drink. Because I don't drink, so there's going to be no alcohol at my wedding, which is going to save me big money. Huge money.
I agree with that.
But I'm telling Raj, he's like one of the only guys I'm worried about, actually. I'm like, don't pre-drink. Don't bring Rage Preet to my wedding. Actually, Drunk Preet isn't Rage Preet. Drunk Preet is like confused in a different world, gets super emotionally hurt.
The best way to describe Drunk Raj is like the Incredible Hulk, except not nearly as strong. I bring him out.
So the best way to control him is you're always drunk?
That's my secret. I'm always drunk. The best way for me to get out of a situation I don't want to be in is bring him out, and then the next thing I know, I'm at home, and the night is gone. It's the best. And then the people would be like, do you remember what happened last night? I'm like, no, I wasn't there. He was there. He took care of everything. But I didn't have that opportunity at your wedding shower.
You know, I'm really sorry that you had such a bad time. You should have told me earlier.
I sincerely regret not bringing my 3DS. I was on Twitter.
It was
but
only
Twitter
an hour,
was dead that day.
It was only an hour and a half, though.
No, it felt like
we got there at 2 and it ended at 3:30.
It felt like it was a lot longer.
I know it did, but thank you for, you know what, thanks, man. Thank you.
I was told to be there for support, and I had no reason to support you.
You supported me. All my other
I didn't do anything.
All my other guy friends, they were like, this is awesome. You're the only one who, like, was there for me. Okay, I'm going to hit the button now, because we're 60 minutes in, and again, no
That was my story.
anime. I like,
What are the chances we get Crepe Corner first?
not high?
Oh,
okay.
good chances. All
I'm
right.
glad that you're here for me. I want you to start with this one. I always start with this one.
So, Breakblade. Okay, last episode. Okay, so I'm all caught up now. First thing I want to address, how on earth is that girl 12 years old with that kind of body?
I don't know.
How? I've never seen a 12-year-old that looks
I
like that.
commented about it the first time, like when I was kind of recapping the first 4 episodes. I was like, honestly, character design-wise, these women are ridiculous.
She's the only one who's unrealistic, I
The
think.
first girl who died was unrealistic too.
I don't remember much about her. I just remember I didn't like her.
She just died.
Cleo, my God, Rygaard had the exact same reaction as me. He's like, she's 12, but that body. I'm like, I know, right? What the hell? That doesn't make any sense. But I do like how, what is her name? Sigyn?
Yeah, Sigyn or whatever.
Sigyn. These names are hard to pronounce. She is treating Cleo properly because of all the propaganda. Actually, about the propaganda, I have an issue with this. Zess recognizes that there's been propaganda to Cleo's generation.
Yeah, even some of the older guys do too, yeah.
But he doesn't do anything about it. He just lets it go. He doesn't
Yeah, I
correct
know.
her or anything.
Well, because it caused too much, I think, issues with the mental stability of the young ones. I think they'd have a lot of issues. Because all of a sudden, everything you believe in is shattered by someone you really trust. She's going to go insane.
I guess. I do like how every girl that's falling in love with Zess is either slowly getting pushed out of the picture or dying, other than his wife.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, I mean, just stick to your wife, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's 25, has a kid. You know, man up.
Who we haven't seen yet. I actually really want to see his family.
Speaking of family, Rygart's brother's name is like Rizard or something like that.
I don't
Super
know.
similar.
I was excited that they finally addressed this. Like, he's gonna go see his brother. Oh my God, that village.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt for Rygaard. Like, everybody he knew was dead.
Yeah.
His home was destroyed. His brother's nowhere to be seen. He didn't even find his corpse.
Nope. Which means he's probably alive.
He's probably alive or captured or something.
That was a pretty cool battle.
This was a good episode. I liked the duel that he had with the other guy. Like, it's obvious that he's completely outclassed, and the only reason he actually beat Zess was kind of like a fluke. And I like what he says, the captain or whatever his name is, the general, that everything that Rygaard does is because of the mech and not because of Rygaard himself.
I like that.
That the pilot has no capabilities of his own.
Yeah, he's like, I realized that mech's great, pilot not so much, so I lost interest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, when Rygaard learned, that'll be awesome. So the guy with the red hair, what's his name? Like Gabriel? No, that's not it at all.
Jigel?
Jigrel? Let's call him Gabriel, even though it's not his name, because I can pronounce that name.
Jikun.
G-kun, sure, G-kun. So red hair kun with glasses.
Yeah, there we go. Glasses Kun.
Glasses
Megami Kun.
So Megane-kun. He's like, when he like paused at the battlefield, he's like, "Oh, I'm scared." I'm like, "No, he's not.
No, he's clearly
It's
he's
so obvious what this guy's motivation is. He's such a cliche character. Not that I have a problem with that, because they do it pretty well. Like, and Reinhardt's like, "I don't know what's going on." Everybody's like, "I don't know what's going on in his mind." I'm like, it's so obvious. He just wants to fight. He just wants to kill things. He wants a challenge. He's one of those.
He just didn't want to go in with you guys because he wanted to go alone.
He's the Agon. He's the Aomine. He's one of those.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that despite him being extremely good, he can still be outclassed by numbers.
Yes. That's
So, because this series has an issue where it's the Gundam thing where one mech can destroy an entire fleet.
Do you like how they use his mech? It's pretty funny.
It is pretty
The
funny.
running tank, like it's so funny.
All he does is ram people.
Yeah, I was like, clearly, like, his legs are great. Okay, let's put a giant big battering ram shield that make him run around.
It was cool.
I
I
think
liked
it's
when
pretty
they covered him in like red plate armor and like
Yeah.
it was a completely different mech, and then he's like purge and like it's like he's hulking out. It was really cool.
Personally, what's really selling this is the complete lack of CGI. Like, complete lack of CG. I like it.
I don't know. I mean, that doesn't.
Because the fights look really good.
But that doesn't. It's not a selling point for me.
But it could have been a not selling point if they did use complete CG and it sucked.
I know. I understand that.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure, but it's also because the series is kind of old. Oh, another issue I have with this series so far is that it tends to jump a lot. Like when they introduced G-kun, Red Hair Kun, and Ryguard heard his name, and he says his name, and then we jump to a battle with him. Like they just skipped all that middle.
Yeah.
This anime seems to. I mean, I know it stems from a movie, so they might not have time to like fill in all the little details. But
There are 6 movies.
this
right?
anime
I think, or
likes to.
something like
I don't know. I didn't count. I don't care. This anime likes to jump to the action fast, which isn't bad all the time. But if you do it too often, it becomes very apparent that your writing is lazy. It hasn't gotten there yet, but it's just something I'm slightly worried about. One thing I definitely don't like is the fact that Ryguard keeps passing out after every fight.
Maybe he won't pass out.
You did put a good point that it's probably very stressful to handle his mech, and maybe that's why he passes out. But look, this is a typical shonen protagonist thing where he has a big battle with a guy, and then he passes out, and then he wakes up 3 days later or something like that.
You know what I don't understand, though? He's not utilizing any magic. So really, he's just running off the machine. So it's not like his resources are being drained like the other magic guys.
Plus, the machine has a lot of autopilot capabilities.
Yeah, like all that insane landing that he does is because the machine has these cool, like, auto landing capabilities, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I don't know why he passes out. A lot of anime or manga like to do that to just accelerate the boring parts of the story. Nobody wants to see him get recovered and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Usually. But it turns into lazy writing. You can forgive it in something like One Piece, for example, because they play for gags and stuff. And plus, Luffy gets destroyed.
Luffy pushes himself past
Every
limits,
single boss fight, he kills himself. It's amazing.
only to become stronger, which is cool.
He's
Plus,
like a Saiyan.
speaking of One Piece, just for a little note, we have yet to see Luffy's true power.
It's true.
And I am like...
His post-time skip power.
Yep, and I'm...
It's gonna be this fight.
It's gonna be. There's
gonna
no
be with
way you can
Doflamingo.
face the Flamingo
No,
without his
he
full
has
power,
to go all out.
which is I'm really excited about.
I am too, because we were waiting.
I mean, he
This
did-
is now the One Piece podcast.
He did his double elephant punch with haki in order to punch the big
Stone guy.
stone guy in the face or something
Pika.
like that. Pika. But
The high voice guy.
that was a huge attack for him in the past.
It was, yeah.
But now he's just throwing it around on minor characters. Somewhat minor characters.
You know what's funny? This entire series, this entire arc, because Zoro always has to fight a swordsman, and after this point, I'm like, there has been no swordsman for him to fight, and then suddenly Pika just pulls out a sword, and I'm like, alright, there it is. This is it. And then Zoro, of course, he jumps off the cow, and he's like, I got this.
It's so funny though, he's standing on a giant version of the guy that he's fighting while fighting him, and everyone's like, oh, did the guy die? No, they're just having an epic sword battle on top of his like shoulder.
It just figures Zoro only ever fights swordsmen. He never fights anybody
It's
else.
good though, I like that kind of consistency. I mean, we got God Usopp, so what else do we need, right?
Alright.
You know who hasn't done anything?
What?
Nami.
This arc, no, she hasn't done much, I guess.
All she usually ever does is sit at the boat and take care of it. That's all
She always has her own boss fight, though.
Yeah, I know. Where she does some lame power and then whatever.
She hasn't done anything this time.
Anyways,
Let's move on.
Breakblade's good.
Beyblade's really good. I'm liking it.
Like I said, it launched pretty high up your list, right?
No, I wouldn't say that.
How high?
I was below the big five.
What's the big 5?
Captain Earth, Black Bullet, Chaika, No Game No Life. What was the 5th one? There's one that we just added, I think. Okay, big four. It's below the big
I
four.
think it was the fifth one of the big four. That's what it was. Anyways, whatever. I'll hit the button.
It's number 4. I don't know. It's below the big four.
No game, no life.
So we more or less called it what was going to happen, but not to the degree that it happened.
It's so good.
I liked it a lot.
The writing is really good.
I liked what they did a lot better than what I had in mind. The writing is really good. The ending, when she says what the three most important things to him are, like his own life is only number 4.
Yep.
Number 3 is the game itself on how to win it. Number 2 is Shiro, and number 1 is all of her. Yeah. The love he has for his sister is so sweet.
But I love it. I love the way that the characters like kind of went through their amnesia and dealing with it, and then I don't know. It didn't seem like contrived. Like when they tripped over something, like I that wasn't. Sure, it was Steph, but they made fun of Steph for tripping. You know what I mean? Like, how long are you going to keep that character up? You know, I kind of like that shot to Steph. It was funny.
I do like how they handle Kurumi or Kurami. I think it's Kurami. I expected him to make her like pretty much a slave in his harem, like he did with Steph, until Steph fell in love with him by herself. But he didn't. He didn't do that at all. He just gave her all of his memories.
All he did.
That was perfect.
All he did was put her in his mind, which probably exploded her. And then she's like, whoa, I trust this guy with everything.
They know everything about each other now. Yeah. It's great. But he owns the elf.
What do you think they're going to do with the elf? Like change the memories?
No, he said he's going to make her spy for him.
No, but like he says, I wonder what memory he's going to alter. Because he said he had the option to change one memory or alter your memory a little bit.
Probably all about the kingdom, the earth, and about him.
Probably.
So they can't, like,
probably Kurumi and Sora and Shiro are going to be masters. I think it's going to be a 3-way thing. Because he doesn't seem like a bad guy that would take her away from Kurumi.
But she's not nearly as smart as Sora or Shiro.
She does have some. She's way more capable than most other people.
I don't know. She doesn't. But she has the elf for that.
Yeah, that's true.
By herself, she's not all that impressive. At least she hasn't shown herself to be yet.
It was a pretty compact episode. It didn't really expand beyond the castle, and plot didn't really move forward any.
It did. We got Kurami.
Yeah, I mean, but that's it. Like a little step. But it was necessary, but a little step.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was really
This episode was fantastic. This is probably the best game yet.
No, I still like the wordplay game.
Oh yeah, that was
you can't beat
good.
that one. This one,
not yet.
This one she just played on an invisible board based off of what she assumed her brother would play, which is pretty epic.
That was amazing.
It was amazing.
She simulated exactly what he would do.
But there's so much going on there that we as viewers can't understand. Whereas the wordplay game, it was all there, but we didn't pick up on it.
Right.
Which was cool. Like he was saying like crust and everything. He was getting rid of all the earth, and we didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I like that.
It was good.
Yeah, so No Game No Life, another great. Like this was
Always
a build up episode. But the good thing is, this isn't going to drop off. It's been a build up to another fight that we've been leading.
I'm
towards.
really excited about the Eastern Federation. What he's going to do with them. I'm really excited.
Boom, ba bum.
Next,
Haikyuu.
Haikyuu.
So, see, we're having a big issue here at James and Brown Podcast. Haikyuu is steadily declining on our interest list.
It went from being fantastic to being a little bit generic to now being mediocre.
The issue is that the characters, as good as they are not being put to use at all. We've been in training camp mode for the past, 8 episodes. We haven't seen a single, we've seen one, probably.
We've had a practice. We haven't had a single
legit game. And I know that we need to be patient. But honestly, we're viewers of anime on our own time. I don't really want to be patient for this long.
We have other sports series. This isn't the only one. This is easily droppable.
Depending on what the episode is like tomorrow, I probably am thinking of dropping this series.
I haven't been looking forward to this series for weeks now.
The only reason I'm following it, and we're following it, is because we're covering it on the podcast. And nobody talks about Haikyuu on our Twitter. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
The only one who cared was the one who, when I asked how the formation works after a serve, someone told me. But I don't think he was that interested in Haikyuu either.
This anime really needs to pick itself up.
I'll just say it was pretty interesting to see how the libero.
That one spike the ace did was really cool.
Yeah, it was
the fact that it broke through the wall.
It was powerful, which was cool.
That was cool, but that was it. That was the only moment in the anime that I actually
This series will save itself if the ace gets over himself.
He's already done that.
Good. If the libero guy continues to be as straightforward as he is, because I like that, and if they get into a sweet match soon, which is going to happen because they're facing the crows or the cats in that dump yard battle or whatever, the junkyard battle. If they do that soon and it's interesting, I'm going to stick around. If it's not, honestly, I don't know.
I did in his attempt to get the guy to coach them, He's like, we're going to fight the cat guys. And he's like, are you trying to seduce me? Huh? What's wrong with you? When we practice.
Immediately. I liked it. And they have a coach. And
the comedy
it's
in
funny.
the series is actually really good. But it needs more. It's a sports series. You can't just have comedy.
There's just so much going on that there's just so much going on, like build up, that they need to, like, you know, maybe reach the climax soon, or else I'm going to lose interest.
We need more.
We need more, please. Okay.
We need more faster.
Yes, and it's probably going to be next episode, maybe, but honestly, I don't know.
We'll see. Hit the button.
Captain Earth.
Captain Earth.
Watch that today.
I like this episode because it blew my expectations out of the water. You were right. Tepe's not a kill gang anymore.
Yeah,
I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah. And you even were like, oh, it says in the preview. I'm like, yeah, man, but your previews are meant to deceive you, bro.
What the hell? You just turned Jamaican?
Yeah, man. Anyways, I'm going to give my take on this.
Go for it.
My expectations were not blown out of the water this episode. I was getting super nervous. I was like, oh man, are you serious? A third designer child, a third battle, a third stupidly long train transformation sequence.
I'm so sick of that train.
Honestly, and the fact that they're trying to make Daichi beat these things in under 3 minutes, impossible. 3 minutes is a ridiculously short amount of time. And I was just about to say, you know what, I'm fed up, when finally Daichi lost. When he lost and then the epic space battle occurred, thank you, series, for not being so, I guess, predictable now. Like, it was unpredictable in the first few episodes. Then when they made their team and he became captain of the Midsummer Nights, it was...
Terrible name for a team.
Yeah, it was
terrible
getting
name.
Interesting, because then all of a sudden everything was predictable. And now that there's two ordinaries...
We're going to have the Power Rangers Kagatai. Yes.
It's going to be good.
Yes. It's like when the Green Ranger had his Dragon Zord and he combined it with the Megazord to make the Ultra Megazord. Oh man, I'm looking forward to it.
If I didn't know what you're talking about, I think that you were speaking nonsense.
I compare this series way too much to Power Rangers. I don't know why it reminds me of it.
Because all mech series kind of have their core kind of there a little bit.
It makes me happy.
So the reveal of the
His mech is way too blue.
Yeah.
There's too much blue.
No, but there's
on it.
nice green tints and stuff.
It's not. It's just, the blue is overwhelming.
Yeah, but it's going to
needs
complement
less.
when they gatai, you know?
I hope so.
Yeah. So they reveal the second pits. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting because I said I think that the blue pits is the girl who gave Daichi the live blaster.
But who's Setsuna? Have we seen her? Is that the blue girl?
No, that's new girl.
She's not the blue girl?
No.
You sure?
Might also be a guy. Don't know.
Oh. Setsuna doesn't sound like a girl's name. Or a boy's name.
Sounds like a boy's name. It was the main character of Gundam 00. I said that.
Setsuna?
Setsuna FCA.
Okay. Well, anyways.
He was actually brown. He was Iranian.
It shows that they...
It's pretty cool.
Shows that they hang out. And it shows that in the next... Iranian?
Yeah, he was an Iranian...
Like Persian Iranian?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's from the Middle East.
Okay. Anyways, it shows in the next preview, because I watched it with you, you made me, that they're going to be, the pits are going to meet. There's not going to be a designer child next episode. There's going to be a poolside scene. Hannah, the only use for her, again, is fan service.
She's so useless. I'm so annoyed with this.
Translation.
I like the fact that I like the romance between her and Daichi. That's really sweet. But other than that, she has no use other than translating pits, which Akari could have easily hacked something together to do some machine to do it for her. Hannah has no use in this anime.
She's getting there. Tepe didn't have a use for a little while.
Well, Tepe had the Kilt Gang, and then he had a small thing where he couldn't do anything.
He found his way.
That was really annoying. I'm happy that he finally shuts up. I'm tired of, I'm so useless on the team.
I need to be more useful, girl.
I should have gone with you. It was all my
I should have
fault.
protected you. Oh, no.
What had he done? We never seen Tepe fight.
No, he's a pansy.
He's got noodle arms. So what is he going to do?
Yeah. In other words, he got his pendant back.
Speaking of fighting, the way Daichi kicked that gun out of her hand, I'm like, where did this come from?
He was on the track team.
When did Daichi learn to kick?
You never knew how hardcore track team members are?
I know he's a badass in general, but man,
but he's part of the track
team. He stepped it up that episode. Okay, I get it. He can run.
This doesn't mean he can ninja kick. I was being sarcastic. And then Kong leap off of like a 1-2 story building into bushes.
It's pretty sweet.
Nobody just does that.
Daichi's
Do they not fear for their life at all?
Daichi has to be my favorite main character that we have going on
awesome.
right now. He's just awesome.
That almost kiss.
Kept in. She was leaning into it.
She wanted it.
Twice.
She wanted it so bad.
2 or 3 times. I'm like, just do it, Daichi.
Daichi didn't know what to do, man.
It's perfect, man. Just do it.
Daichi's too innocent.
I was actually, because I think you were playing Dragon Quest or something while I was watching, and I was like, kiss her, Daichi. This is it. This is your opportunity.
I was just laughing.
Kiss her, kiss her, kiss her. And then she starts leaning. I'm like, yes, Hana, you can do this. I believe. And then nothing. What a cop-out.
Well, you can't have the kiss so quickly. They've had 2 kisses in The World's Still Beautiful so far.
I feel like there's an anime that did a kiss really quickly. I know there is multiple.
Oh, it is. It's the one that came out recently. Janelle was trying to watch it. It was on Crunchy a couple seasons ago, and it happened immediately. And it's
do you want to try to explain
My
it?
Little Monster. No,
It wasn't My Little Monster. My
No,
Little Monster's really
it was
good.
this one where this girl is kind of antisocial and quiet, and then there's this really popular guy that she gets to knowing, and then they like kiss right away on the first episode, and then they start dating, and then this model girl comes in who's a friend of the main character, and then there's all this tension, and I dropped it because I hated it.
I don't know what this is.
Anyways, it was out recently.
Sounds like shoujo.
It is extraordinarily shoujo, which
I
is
think
interesting.
Nell would like shoujo.
She picked it up right away.
Yeah,
I gave her Crunchy, and I'm like, pick one. And I'm like, you picked a shoujo.
I think that's probably the best way you can get her to anime.
I tried to get her to watch Kimi no Todoke, but she hated the main character. She's like, this girl sucks. She doesn't think for herself. She's so complaining. I don't understand. I hate it. She dropped the series, man. I love that series.
I can recommend her some good shoujo. She might like Kami-sama Hajime Machi. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I might be too
supernatural for
Yeah.
her. She might want more normal.
Well, like I did. You have to get introduced into the Japanese kind of folklore until you can get used to something like that. Like I watched
That's funny because the first two anime I watched were both magical girl anime.
well, Magical Girl is not really like fairy tale. I'm talking about like the demons and like all of like the shrines and stuff.
What did I watch that had that? I think it was Inuyasha. Oh man, Inuyasha was a big waste of time. I want to think about that.
I watched that one where the Book of Friends. I don't know what
My computer just died.
I don't know what the thing's called. It's like something's Book of Friends or something. He has like Neko.
Oh, that's on my list.
It's amazing.
That's where his grandma has like a
Yes.
book of friends that are just demons.
Dude, I
that, like,
hyped that for
serve
you.
her.
I marathoned all 4 seasons of
There's
it.
4 seasons of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not even ended yet. It's really good.
Really?
It's really good. And it's actually like the background music is so peaceful. I have it on my phone. It's just like amazing to listen to, and it's really like folky and
Speaking of music, we were playing League of Legends earlier.
yeah.
And you were airplaying just your iTunes library.
It was
or
actually
whatever.
like a long time ago. I downloaded a Brawl ISO that somebody had packed a bunch of music in, so I ripped all the music from it and then turned it to MP3 and put it in a playlist because it was great Nintendo songs.
And then so we're about things get really intense in the game, and then suddenly Metal Gear music
Yeah.
starts kicking in. I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. And then when we win the game, it has like the victory music
Yeah.
from Metal Gear. I'm like, it's like you couldn't have timed this any better.
And then it was barrel roll, do a barrel roll.
Came out of nowhere.
And I was like, oh, it's like changing as quick as a kid. Then it was Zelda Final Battle, so that kind of fit. And then you started singing Zelda Battle after. It's good, man.
All right, let's.
That was Captain Earth, everybody.
Captain Earth was amazing. Good Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
Black Bullet. I am actually surprised you liked this episode.
Okay, I liked it because they finally put it on the open that it's a harem. They're like the senpai sensei girl. She's called senpai.
What?
Whatever. The sensei girl called out Rentaro and said, "Look,
Sensei girl. What the hell?
what's her name?
Just call her Sensei.
No, sensei girl.
Doctor.
Okay,
Call her the
No,
doctor.
the sensei. She calls out Rentaro and says, that would mess with your plan. He wants to have all the harem girls to her little party.
Lolly harem.
Lolly harem.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, oh boy, it's been called out. And then, I don't know if you're listening to this, my friend, on Twitter, but if the anime itself calls out it for being a harem, it's a harem. There's no hope.
I'm happy. Yeah.
I gave up my expectations of this series a couple weeks ago, and this series shot up on my list. It was like, this series is amazing. It's a harem with some decent action sometimes. It's not an amazingly epic action series with some harem. It's the other way around. See? All about perspective, man.
I like the new girl. I like the new pair. I don't really care about Shoma because we don't know anything about him yet. I don't think he'll actually be utilized much.
They're pretty OP, though.
I think he's just someone to bring Rentaro's power level up, like in terms of his group. Just someone who's competent in fighting.
Like an Arin.
Yeah, pretty much. Except Oren had a lot better character development, but that took a while. Yeah, pretty much though. I was actually really excited when his partner showed up, his initiator, because she had a witch's hat, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna see some magic. And then Angel was like the same thing. She's like, can you do magic? I was like, yes, please show us some magic. And then she just shows up, she has cat ears, and I was split because one, I was like, cat-eared lolly, oh my god, yes. But at the same time, I was like, no magic, no. I was so sad. So I had some conflict. I had some internal conflict this episode.
I was just kind of glazed over. I was like, oh, there's going to be a battle soon, right, everybody? Oh, there's another lolly, okay.
I also do love how Rentaro attempted to confess to Kisara. He almost did it. He was almost there.
This series has fallen so far.
You just said it shut up your list.
Because I believed in it, you know? And after we're talking about, what series are we even talking about? Lollies, Cat Ear Girls, Confessions.
Feels good, man. I was, you know what? When Tina was the one who interrupted them, I said, there's no way she would do that. It's out of character for her. And then zooms out and everybody else is with her. That made sense. That made sense to her character.
The one best thing I liked about this series was the weapon introduction, where they would introduce themselves and pull out their weapon and pose.
It was so lame, but at the same time it was great.
Lame, but it was great because it's like, this means good things are going to happen. And I like that Rentaro is his oblivious challenge authority self and just challenged the, rank 300 guy or rank whatever he is and said, why aren't we moving forward? Do you think that's actually going to come? Like, proves that he's obviously going to be in charge of the whole army eventually.
I'm just waiting for the action to happen at this point.
Same.
But I'm enjoying the harem. I'm enjoying the comedy.
It's funny.
Enjoying the lollies.
It's a good thing to watch. It's just fun.
I kind of want Enju to have more screen time.
She's totally been backburnered.
I understand that because they have to develop the other girls because they're new. But honestly, Enju is the most interesting out of all of them, and her relationship with Rintaro is the most interesting. I kind of wanted to bring them back. They might do the thing where their group gets separated, so it's just Rintaro and Enju, and we'll have their alone time then.
Like the individual story thing that happens sometimes. Like they have their little individual side plots in the one.
I don't think that's going to happen given how short this series actually is.
Now that I've been, took some time to find myself and realize what this series is all about, 12 episodes makes sense.
Do you think 13? Do you think this is going to get a second season? I'm doubtful.
If it does, I'm probably not going to watch it.
I would watch it, but I don't think it will get another one. I don't know.
I don't think so. What else are they going to do? I mean...
There's a lot they can do.
Yeah, that's true. They could... Actually, you know what? Here's my thing. Based on the story, they probably will, if it's popular enough, because there's no way all the Gasteria or whatever are going to get exterminated in this one episode, or in the next couple episodes. So there's always the threat of that. They could pull a Titan and explore into the uncharted territory.
And there's always more walled zones that they can go to.
And always more about the past humans and their technology. There's lots that they could do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always more harem that could be added.
I'm worried that they're not going to address Enju's corrosion rate anymore. That's the one thing.
They kind of talked about it a little bit.
They didn't, did they?
Yeah, there's like, they're tied by their corrosion rate, which kind of...
She talked about it in general.
Which kind of assumes that all of these girls are going to die.
Eventually, yeah.
As young girls. Like, they don't grow up.
Sucks for the guy whose partner's his sister. His sister's going to die and turn into a bug.
Is it honestly his sister, or is it just the way that the girl calls him?
It's his actual sister.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I feel sorry for... I know. Because, Enju and Rintaro aren't actually related. It's just a pseudo father-daughter relationship. But those two, they're actually siblings. They grew up together. That's kind of sad.
Yeah. Almost as sad as the girl who poured lead in her eyes.
That was brutal.
That was rough.
Oh, man. That was hard to watch.
That was where the series, I
don't want to
think it should be more and more.
I don't want to think about it.
Like, oh my gosh, you poured lead in your eyes because your eyes made your mom feel bad?
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about this.
Hit the button. Ping pong. You don't have to think about anything.
About this.
Okay, so ping pong in the most recent episode.
By the way, I'm not going to bother catching up to this series.
So Smile is annihilating the competition as always. He has this ability where he just kind of loses a couple points until he can analyze the weakness of his enemy and then just wrecks them. And so in this tournament of the Carillion, he had to face up against Sanada, who is Kazuma's second in command, and they're also like love interest fighting, but Kazuma doesn't care, so they don't even know about it. Smile wrecks him. Like, Sanada is put on the back burner, can't do anything, just gets destroyed. Huang comes in, faces Peko, and gets destroyed himself.
I thought that happened last episode.
Oh, it did? Okay, whatever. So Peko is relaxing watching Smile's game, and it's revealed that his knee is actually getting destroyed because of overtraining. And his
Smile's knee?
Peko's
knee.
The bob cut guy. So Peko, his knee's getting destroyed because he's training way too hard. But everyone's telling him, you know what, you beat, who did he face? He beat some random guy. Like, he beat some, or did he face... Am I completely confused? No, I'm right. So Peko beat some random Kaio upper, so he's in the top 4 with, there's Peko, Peko, Smile, Kazuma, and who's the 4th one? Honestly, I don't even know. some dude. Or is it, I don't know, whatever. I totally forget, it was a while ago. Anyways, but what the big reveal was that Peko is talking about Smile's backstory. And apparently Smile wasn't named Smile because he doesn't smile. It's because he smiled when he played ping pong. but now he doesn't anymore because Pekko's play got horrendous. Because Pekko is Smile's hero. When he says enter the hero, enter the hero, he's actually waiting and waiting and waiting for Pekko to come and play his hardcore ping pong like he used to. Because that inspires Smile to like play harder himself.
Okay.
So Pekko was like, dang it. And he didn't want to, like, he was like, I have to go play in this next match. Even though I've already made it to nationals and I could lose this little tournament, I have to face Kazuma, like the big boss of ping pong at this point, because I'm the hero. And he gives a big thumbs up smile and then walks off and it goes to credits.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Pekko is pretty cool. So, oh yeah, that's what happened, I think. So, yeah, because Smile beat Sanada, he's going into the finals. Kazuma needs to face Pekko still. So that battle's going to go on and then the final's going to happen. But all four of those, Sanada, Kazuma, Pekko, and Smile, all of them go into the nationals in Japan. So it's pretty cool. But
what about the Chinese guy? Is he not going to?
Hong got kicked out by Pekko last episode.
So what's going to happen to him then?
He just trains some more. He can't go back to China until he gets better, but he's having this really big realization. He's like, before in the first episode, he's like, why did I come to Japan? Now he's like, holy crap, like there's some monsters in Japan that I need to beat before I go back to China. So that's pretty interesting. That Akuma guy with the slanted eyes, he came back. He has the classic like pompadour. Like the,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, so he's like the, Shaman King guy.
Ryu.
Yeah, Ryu Pompadour. So he goes in and he goes to where Kazuma always hides in the bathroom because he always hides in the bathroom before the battles to like sync his mind up. And he's pretty cool. I mean, Akuma, like, he gave some advice to like Kazuma and he's like, actually, like, I feel sorry for you because he's so into ping pong that he can't get over it and stuff. And there's just a lot of character development going on that I really like in this series. It's good. I like it.
Glad you're liking it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I'm okay if you don't watch it because it's just another sports anime, but the unique style leaves a huge impression on me just for, like, the way that they illustrate the ping pong battles. It's really well done. I'm very amazed.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's ping pong. I'm excited to see the battle between Pekko and Kazuma, especially because Pekko is wounded at this point. And I want to see what Smile looks like when he kind of sees his hero. So that's kind of cool.
Let's move on. Valkyrie in the Darkness.
Oh, your turn.
So it's not. It is really hot in here right now.
Man.
Yeah.
Whew.
So this episode was not nearly as let's use the word sexual as last episode, but it did have.
What do you mean? Let's say the word. You pretty much described a porn to me, and I was uncomfortable.
Nothing happened. They just hugged.
But she was naked.
That doesn't make it porn.
Makes
well,
me uncomfortable.
it does make it softcore porn. It's pretty lame. So
hey man, that's probably as hard as some of our viewers have gotten. Okay, don't belittle them.
it's kind of sad.
It's not sad.
Wait. You mean in real life or in porn?
Real life.
Okay, that's not sad then. I thought like
Oh,
someone's not willing to go further than softcore porn. That's kind of
no. I was talking about like watching it. I mean, that's what I meant. I didn't mean like real life because I haven't got that far.
Okay, wait, you're confusing me now.
Like real life, like they sit in front of a computer, all they watch is softcore.
Oh, yeah,
I'm proud
that's
of you.
pretty lame.
You should wait for your wives, everybody. I need to turn the fan on. You can laugh at me.
Watch some real porn, goddammit. So
You know what? Here, I will. I'll watch some real porn.
No, I'm not talking
in,
about you.
30 days when I get married. What's up?
but that's not porn. That's you actually having sex.
The real deal, baby.
Why did you say that? Why did you just say that?
You should recap Valkyrie, man.
Why did you? I'm sorry, all of our listeners, that you had to hear that. That's wow, unbelievable.
Okay. You know, I'm coming back into this because what do you mean unbelievable?
Okay, so about Valkyrie.
No. How can you call me unbelievable?
You're gonna knock your computer over. Careful.
It's fine, man. How can you call me unbelievable being excited about actual marriage sex when you
No, not about that. What you just said into the thing.
Oh, well, I'm excited. You described to me quite passionately how it was so character building that this girl stripped in front of this young boy, a cartoon. And you think I'm unbelievable? These viewers probably listen to these things on speaker and their parents walk in and they're talking about like, I don't even know, man.
I've listened to our podcast on speaker before. It confuses my dog. He's like, "Where's Spencer?"
He likes me, man.
He does. Well, he likes most people, kind of. No, he tends
thanks.
to. He tends to.
Way to belittle me.
No, it's actually the opposite. That Max is the one who likes people. My dog likes to ignore people.
But he likes me.
He does like you. It's true.
I don't know why. I don't do anything.
I don't know.
Probably because I'm soon.
Actually, he's as soon.
It's not like I petted you on purpose.
So,
Okay, you go ahead.
Valkyrie in the Darkness. Last episode, they revealed a girl who can read memories, and her name is Nanami. And basically, yeah, that's where I got the name from.
Oh, okay, I see.
So, what she does is she's trying to find anybody who has memories of Ryota or any of the witches. So what she does is she goes into a crowd of people on the street. She's wearing a very nice dress. She lifts her dress up just above the underwear so you can't see her underwear. But it confuses and entices people, so they stare at her because she can't use her powers unless she looks people in the eye. So that way
Wait,
she
lifts it like above underwear, but you can't see that?
No, just below.
Oh,
so you
I
can't
see.
see anything.
Oh,
You just see
okay.
her legs. And then she does like a wide scan of everybody who's looking at her to see if they have any memories of Ryota. And if they don't, she just moves on.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
And then actually, the guy who's in charge of her calls her out on it. He's like, why do you do this? Like, isn't there a better way? And she's like, this is the easiest way to get people to pay attention to me. He's like, okay, it's just kind of weird. I mean, you can figure out another way. So she ends up tricking him. He wears sunglasses so that he can't get his memories because she can both read and erase and place new memories.
So read, write, memory.
Yeah. Nice. So she actually goes to a group and then she makes them all think that the guy who's following her, and like he's the one who's keeping her in prison, basically. And she makes some of them think like, one, he like slept with their daughter or slept with their wife. Basically, a bunch of people get mad and start beating him up for no reason. And then his glasses get knocked off and then she like erases part of his memory. And she makes it so that she rewrites the mission in his head because his mission is for her to find Ryota and like lead her around and tell him. His mission is to go look at some scenery for 3 days. So then she's like, I'm going to be free for a day. And because she finds Ryota.
Why didn't she wipe him completely?
Because she has a beacon attached to the back of her thing. So if she ever deserts, they can just hit a button and she auto-ejects and dies.
Ah, okay.
So her plan is to find Ryota, have fun for a day, and then go report him to her superiors. And her hope is she gets rewarded for that. Basically, she finds Ryota. Ryota confronts her. Or no, she brings him to, she basically, remember that girl that, Ryota was, tutoring that I told you about, and she's part of his harem, even though she never shows up. She showed up again.
Okay.
And she basically just made her, like, bring Ryota to the girl. And she wipes out his memories from the day he was born to currently. And she says, now you're nothing but a baby that can't even talk. And, like, he starts crying and wailing like a baby. And she walks away. And because she knows, she read his mind before then, so she knows exactly where the witches are. And before that, he's like, can't we just be friends? And he's like, can't you trust me? I'll keep you safe. And she's like, how can I trust you if you don't trust me and you don't look me in the eye? And then she wiped his memory because,
Because he tried to prove it and got owned?
Yeah.
What a douche.
And then he gets up, he's like, well, that was embarrassing. I had to pretend I was a baby.
How long did she erase her memories for?
Well, they're supposed to be permanent. But this is so dumb. This is laziest writing at its finest. Because he has photographic memory, it counters her magic. Somehow, because he has photographic memory, his memories can't be erased.
Okay, but like, when did it say he had photographic memory before?
I don't know, a few episodes ago.
Okay. They had to drop it in there?
Yeah. It's lame.
okay.
It's lazy writing at its finest. So he goes to the girls and he's like, all right, so we have options. We have two options. Run and kill her and run away. Or two, just run away. And then they're like, let's just make her our friend. So they go and they're like, let's be friends and stuff. And then she basically, Kuroha does the same thing. She's like, I'll prove that I trust you. And she takes off her glasses. And then she rewrites Kuroha's memory to kill Ryota. And I thought they were going to do the stupid, like, she can't kill him because she's in love with him. No, they didn't do that at all. She was this close to murdering him in cold blood. But then she undid the rewrite to the memories because she read Kuroha's memories and saw that they sincerely want to help her. And then she's crying and she's all sad and she's like, I can finally have friends and I'll be free.
Oh,
and they're like, we'll protect you, and they give her a hug. And then before she rewrote her supervisor's memories, he had been taking notes on their entire mission. So he goes back to his car and he reads the notes. He's like, that bitch. And then the episode ends and okay, she's not in the opening, so I'm 90% sure she's dead.
Yeah.
The fact that she's not in the opening, she has no worth. Also, she's obsessed with sweets. She says, my magic doesn't work unless I have sugar. So he like buys her ice cream and stuff. And at one point she's like, I want 1,000 yen for candy. And he's like, I'll give it to you if you show me your boobs. And she
said this?
No, not Ryota, it was her supervisor.
Oh, okay.
And she said, you've seen me naked because you've done experiments on me. And he's like, I want to see your boobs. So she lifts up her dress, flashes him. Surprisingly did not erase his memory because I thought she would just do that right after. But she didn't. And then she took the money and then some kid was crying, so she gave the money to him. And she goes back. She's like, how much does my belly button get you? He's like, I saw your belly button when I saw your boobs, so it gets you nothing. And then he gives her 1,000 for showing her showing him her armpit, and she's like, you know what? He's not actually that bad of a guy. He let me just show him my armpit. I'm like, he's still gonna kill you. Like, that doesn't make him a good person.
It's so totally not a Spencer
This is
anime.
such a stupid anime.
Like, you gotta admit, it's not a Spencer anime.
Ryota sucks, man. I like him, but at the same time, he's such a crappy character.
All these girls seem so...
Kotori's so throwaway.
You know what?
Kana's throwaway.
You keep telling me about this anime. All I hear from you is blah, blah, blah. Reason to put sexual stuff in. Blah, blah, blah. Sexual stuff. Blah, 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 blah.
Ryota sucks.
Ecchi. Blah, 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 blah. Ecchi. Blah, blah, blah. Bad plot point. Blah, 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 blah. Ecchi, 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 ecchi.
Where's the Ryota sucks, man? Come on.
Oh, and Ryota sucks. Honestly, it seemed like they just were like, I want to make these girls, like, get naked. How can I put a story in there somehow to make this happen?
This is very poorly written. I don't know.
Why don't you just drop it?
Because I'm almost done. I might as well just stick to it. It's the same reason with Bleach. I'm committed now.
I guess
Might as well see this thing through. Okay. Also, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to see Nanami die. She's very likable. I like her much because she's so innocent. I like her better than all the other girls so far.
I wouldn't say a girl who would flash a guy innocent.
All she wants in life is to eat candy. That's her dream.
I guess so. It just doesn't seem very innocent to me, but our versions of innocent are different, I assume.
I guess. You might really want to eat that candy.
Ew, I'm gonna hit the button now, okay? Yeah, okay.
Irregular at Magic High School.
I just realized during this episode, I'm like, I just don't care. Like, I keep flip-flopping back and forth. The epic car thing at the beginning got resolved in 5 seconds.
Did you really expect anything less?
No, we totally knew that it was, Itsuoya? What's his name? Tatsuya. Okay, we totally knew it was...
What was that? Itsuya?
Itsuya, whatever. We totally knew that Tatsuya was gonna stop it, okay? And then there was
But he didn't. He didn't single-handedly stop it, which was nice.
Well, he put out the flames a little bit.
No. He canceled everybody else's magic.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know he did that. No, he said something like, gram dispersion.
Yeah, that canceled everybody else's magic.
Oh, I didn't know what that was. See, honestly, they have this big party thing, right? And they're trying to show off all the girls and their hairstyles and whatever. And honestly, I was like, Raj, who's that?
Speaking of hairstyles.
I was like, who the heck is that? And I was like, who's that girl? He's like, you met her 2 episodes ago.
You had no idea.
There's way too many characters in this anime.
And yet I remember all of them.
There's way too many.
I don't know how I remember them. I don't know. I like this anime, but it's the best it can do is good. That's all it can do. It can't do anything more than that.
I just didn't care. I'm just not going to say anything about it because I have nothing good to say.
As soon as they dropped the word Hot Springs, I was like, yes, Hot Springs episode.
And then the Hot Springs episode part came, and they're all like fully clothed. And I was like, yes, Hot Springs episode.
Our moods totally flipped. You were like, oh, not a Hot Springs episode. And then it showed that they could just wear clothes in the Hot Springs. I was like, oh, this sucks. You were like, yes, Hot Springs episode.
Yeah, and then they're like, okay.
We did get a Miyuki shower scene.
But
Miyuki
girl
is the most boring out of all the women.
And then she's like, oh, Aniki, how can you not tell that I am staring at you across the room?
That was so lame.
Actually, you probably know, but you don't know my feelings. Like, shut up. Nobody cares.
She's like, you don't understand anybody else's, like, feelings. You and I were like, yeah, that's true. He's kind of
dense.
And then she's like my own gaze. We're like, oh, this is where you were going with this, really?
No one cares about her. And then she flat out denies it to all the girls in the hot tub.
Oh yeah, she was lying out of her mouth. I'm like, oh, you're such a liar. Come on.
But apparently she has the ability to turn all genders towards her.
Yeah, she's like, we're all women here. They're like, yeah, but when it comes to you, gender doesn't matter.
It's like, what? And she's drawn so differently. Like, when she has clothes on, she's pretty normal looking. And then all of a sudden, like, oh.
She gets bustier.
Yeah, it's stupid.
In the shower, actually, she was normal, but then they made her bustier in the hot spring.
Stupid.
I like how the one girl rage quit the hot spring and just went to the sauna.
The Tina girl.
Yeah. I was like to Spencer, I don't know why, but there's something about this girl that I really like. I think it's something with the hair. And you're like, look, they literally copied Tina's hairstyle and pasted it to this girl. Yeah. That's why you like her.
To be fair, though, I don't know when the animes were coming out, but Black Bullet probably didn't have Tina at the time that this girl showed up.
I mean, Black Bullet's they're both based off of manga, so we don't actually know.
Yeah, that's true. But anyways, that's a regular high.
I like that Tina girl.
Oh, pretty much the biggest plot point was this epic blind guy. I think he has no eyes. Anyways, he did this magic thing that only 5 people, including of course Tatsuya, could see. And then he's like, blah blah blah, terrace, blah blah blah. You guys suck. Blah blah blah. You need to be better at magic.
He's basically like, if I felt like it, I could have killed all but 5 of you.
And I'm sitting there because his audio in the whole anime was super low compared to everybody. Like, it wasn't important. And I was like, I can barely hear this guy.
You were completely disinterested in this episode.
So then all of a sudden,
so much so,
this magic guy who can see spirits is like, oh, I lost my powers years ago. Now he has his powers again. Who knows why? How did you lose them in the first place? So all of a sudden, he like gets in a bad place. Oh, who helped me?
Okay, he's like, there's 3 thieves here. First, he has no confidence in himself, so he's like, oh, I'll just go call security. And he's like, no, I'll take care of it, because Tatsuya could take care of them, so I'll take care of them. Apparently he's Gambit from X-Men, because he throws cards, and then, like, lightning shoots out. But then somebody else helps him. He's like, who could it be? Like, who do you think? Who do you think has been doing everything this entire series?
Tatsuya.
And Tatsuya shows up, he's like, hey, how's it going, dude?
Yeah, and then it ended.
Yeah,
and
Tatsuya
like,
just doesn't care.
And
he's like, Tatsuya, it can't be. Like, really? Tatsuya does everything.
The only thing that was cool was that one of the characters pretty much decided what we think of Tatsuya too.
He called him a badass.
He's like, yeah, pretty much. And he's the guy I respect most in the anime.
Yeah, he is pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyways, that's
I really like this anime, but it really isn't very great.
I'd just rather do something else.
It's good at best.
Honestly, just because it's almost done, I'm probably going to keep watching it with you just so we don't have another one that you're watching by yourself. But I really, really, really want to drop it.
I would like it more so. I think it has a problem where it's too little on both ends of the harem spectrum. Like, there's too little of the harem, but there's also too little of the action.
Well, there's way too many girls.
And then,
but
the
none of
middles
them are
all filled with either, I mean, plot, sure, but like technobabble.
There's no plot. There's way too much technobabble.
There was a terrorist organization.
But there's
and
no
stuff.
plot.
Terrorist organization. Him being a robot.
As cool as they think this anime world is, let me break it down for you, okay?
Sure.
They're in high school.
A magic high school.
He joined a club. He's better than everybody else, so he gets put into the student council. He's better than everybody else, so he put into the engineers. They're going to a festival, a tournament of schools.
That's plot.
I had to end because there's nothing else. Honestly, all the magic technobabble that makes this series cool is just filler for a plot that's not that good.
I did like how the main villain, I'm assuming he's the main villain because he's the last guy that Tatsuya points a gun at in that opening. The guy whose friend is Georgie. And he's just staring at Miyuki. He's like, you know, she's pretty good looking. And then all the girls in the hot springs were like, Miyuki, that guy was checking you out. She's like, oh, really? I was kind of looking at my brother the whole time. Like, she just doesn't care.
I will keep with the series.
I also don't buy. Sorry,
it's okay.
I do not buy the fact that the girls believe that she's not into her brother. They totally know.
Well, it's probably because Tatsuya puts the act up all the time, so everyone thinks it's a game ploy thing that they do. I don't know. The only thing that's great about this series is the awesome action when it actually happens.
Yeah, the action is great, but it's usually always in very small bursts.
And the animation is actually pretty high quality in this series.
I like the art too.
I just wish that they had done a better job just fleshing everything out.
Yeah.
Making it less meh.
You know what?
Way too many characters.
Still better than 1 Week Friends. As much as there's technobabble and crap, and as much as Spencer will go on Facebook or Reddit or whatever, it still doesn't put us to sleep.
Still way better. We dropped 1 Week Friends faster than even Makaku City actors.
Yeah, we did. That says something.
That says something. Nobody talks to us about Makaku. Clearly, everybody else.
Everybody has said, "I don't agree with you dropping it, but I can understand why." And then we got so much hate for 1 week.
That's because we're heartless fiends.
No, we're too manly for the anime. Remember, we're too manly.
We're too manly.
That's
Your
what someone
first
said.
2 anime that you ever watched in your life were shoujo.
I like shoujo.
The anime that's like closest to my heart is an intense like shoujo.
No, we're too manly for it.
We're too manly.
We're too manly. That's
too
the
manly.
issue.
I'm gonna hit this button
Hit the button very
I'm gonna hit it so manly. I'm gonna not even do the tap press. I'm gonna hit it away.
Oh,
buddy,
nice.
you can't even handle how manly that was.
Nanana's buried treasure.
Nanana's buried treasure. Speak of manly, the main character is pretty. He's got his ways around the women, man.
Jugo?
Yeah, he went on a date.
I like that. This guy does not discriminate with women. He just wants a girlfriend. Like,
he does.
He just really wants a girlfriend.
He doesn't even care that it's Yukihime that he's dating. He was like, I love that he was like hanging out with the girl.
Yeah.
Like, and he like took her to the ground, which was kind of cool.
I love that she gets jealous. I love
Yukihime
that.
is like so jealous.
I love the fact that she's a legitimate love interest. This is actually funny because usually I'm more for the fantasy love in anime, while you're for more the realistic love.
Yeah.
But this time I'm the complete opposite. I do not want him to fall in love with the ghost. I want him to go completely realistic. Go for the childhood friend that you made with the promise with. Go for Yukihime.
He broke a promise, man.
He can redo it.
Feels bad, man. Did I take notes here?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I just love how she gets jealous of him. I love how Yunchan is voiced by Kate from Zvezda.
Yeah, and it's the exact same girl.
She speaks the exact same way.
Yeah.
In the exact same voice. It's like Kate just decided to jump anime. It's hilarious.
That was such a... That anime was ridiculous for a good reason. That was that was an anime that did ridiculous right.
Yeah. And Tetsukun, who's her guardian or whatever, every time he was on screen and he spoke, I was like, why do I feel like this guy's such a badass? And then I realized that he voices Tetsu from Ace of Diamonds.
It's the exact same name.
It's the same name, same voice actor, same voice. And I was like, no wonder I always think this guy's a badass, because in another anime, he's completely awesome.
Dude, Ace of Diamond, that guy is so hardcore. He steps on the like plate and his aura just boom.
The look he gives people scares them.
Yeah.
Raichi was scared,
Even the
man.
most like ridiculously
man.
uncaring character, Raichi, got like scared that his hand would break.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
It
funny.
was great. So, actually talking about the anime this
Yes,
episode.
that's true.
I did not like the reason they give Tensai to leave the last week. I didn't like it. The fact that she was just mad that a case went and solved itself.
Well, it kind of adds a little bit of dimension to her character.
Eh.
The writer honestly probably just took her out because she was getting too repetitive. And they needed to flesh out the other characters. Well, you don't like that noise?
No, I don't like that noise. If you hear a sound in the background, it's just the fan going off in the back.
Okay, I'll turn it down. I'll be back.
Did anything else happen? what the hell's that guy's name? Kirito, what is his name in this anime?
Oh, the hardcore black guy?
Iku something.
Ikusa, probably.
Itsuba Hyo. So Itsuba is hardcore as all hell. He destroyed Kagetora. It seems to me, the way he beat Kagetora, the only Nanana's treasure or Nanana's collection he's interested in are ones with battle capabilities.
Yep.
Because the one that it just crippled Kagetora and he annihilated him.
He either made wishes or just his words came to be. And it's the ring. Obviously, it's
Yeah,
the
it's
ring.
easily the ring. I don't know. I think it's really cool. I like where this is going. I like that Jugo doesn't want to take him lightly. He asked for the entire club to help him.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. The fact that they're trying to beat him to get the other treasure, and the fact that this treasure is hardcore because Nanana doesn't want Jugo to get it. She doesn't want Jugo to use it.
She doesn't want Jugo to... Yeah, she made a promise that he wouldn't...
I have one condition. So Pudding, I have two conditions.
Yeah, that was so funny. And it was perfect timing. The pause, two conditions. It was so good. She's so serious about it, too.
But I don't like how Jugo's thinking like, oh, it's probably something to help me find the killer. She doesn't want me to use it. I don't think it's like that at all. I think it'd be something dangerous or something like that's a weapon.
I don't know.
I think it's something that would go against Jugo's character, or maybe it could corrupt him or something.
We don't even know what Jugo's character is.
We
and
do know
already
he's
technically
the
corrupted.
solid anchor that doesn't change in this anime.
Yeah, I guess so. But we still don't understand him. Is he evil?
He's
Is he
someone.
not
No,
evil?
he's not evil, but he's not good either. He's selfish.
Yeah,
he
that's
only does what he wants to do.
I like this episode because it really put a lot more emphasis on the action and the heavy-handedness. Like that sound effect for when Kagetora got booted in the face was like gross.
And then they play it off when they see him. He's like, Kagetora, something wrong? Oh, don't ask about it. Okay.
Yeah, like he's completely covered in bandages, but you can still see all his facial features and his eyebrows are drawn over. It's ridiculous. It's like, are you serious? And
It's great.
He's chatting like normal, and it's like, is everyone okay with this? Like,
It's great. I like how Yuiga has sort of taken a back seat lately, because I hate that prick.
because he's a pansy.
He is a pansy and he's a little punk bitch that needs to die. But I do like that Jugo recognizes that he needs his help in order to... He doesn't want to go into this fight blind. He wants to know what Ikusuba's like. And he's pretty much a dictator. He crippled a girl.
Yeah, he's
At least temporarily.
Well, and she left the island too. That was
Yeah,
pretty heavy.
that's hardcore.
I thought she died. Like I thought she pushed her. Like he pushed her into gears.
Yeah, this anime's not going to do death, though. I'm pretty sure.
but it's still.
I mean, Nanana's dead, but
I like how heavy it is getting though. Why do you think Nanana disappeared at the end?
I thought that was just him dreaming.
I don't know.
It could
Honestly,
be anything.
I think that like
It could have been anything.
maybe she just disappeared. Yeah, it might have been a dream or him freaking out. Like,
Because I think he was imagining his life if she had passed on.
yeah, it's true.
That's probably what it was.
It'd be kind of boring, not hearing those RPG sounds in the background all the time.
I do love that every game she plays is a real game. She's playing a Days in this episode.
Oh, they're all real games.
They're all real games. She was okay when Yukihime was getting jealous. The part of her dating sim was like the two girls were asking, "Which one of us do you like?"
It's like, oh, this is quite the pickle, or whatever.
It was great.
What game is that?
The timing, I don't know. I didn't play that one.
What game was the RPG that she was playing on the computer?
She's played a few. She's played Dragon Quest. She's played Terraria. Those are the only two that come off the top of my head. Tekken a lot. Virtual Fighter.
Oh, that's what that is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she plays
Honestly,
a lot
the
of cool games.
RPG that she's playing looks really good, and I'd play an RPG with that kind of art style.
Maybe she was playing Fantasy Star.
Because
I don't know.
we've been playing Guild Wars. I don't like the graphics of Guild Wars.
Really, I like them a lot.
They're trying to be too realistic. I wish it was more like cel shaded. I think
I like the way it looks.
just because you need a super epic computer in order to like process it at the best looking, and it just doesn't look good. It's like playing League on Roop's computer and
I
League
disagree.
Online.
I like how it looks.
I don't know. It's all right. When's the last time you played?
I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, we paid $25 for that, man.
It's a good game.
Yeah, but just got no time. I don't have.
I don't know. I'd rather do other things than play it. MMOs just don't suck me in like they should. unlike RPGs do.
It's true.
I don't know. Let's move on.
That's because RPGs have a set storyline that's supposed to drive you. MMOs, you choose it, sort of. And so you can kind of go off and do your own thing, which is fun, but then you get lost.
All right, next one. None of us are good.
Here we go.
Crepe Corner. Why do you sound so...
No, I was excited. I was like, here we go.
No, you were like, here we go.
No, I said, here we go.
Crepe Corner again.
No. I said, here we go. I was expecting it for so long, every click. I'm excited. I like Crepe Corner.
Oh, man.
Don't call me out like that, man. I was excited.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of it's a hot room. We've been talking for an hour. Really hot room. You know, it's not like we're like machines. We can't do this like all the time.
If we were machines, I don't think we'd be as funny. We will be badass like Tatsuya, though. So there's that.
Okay.
Oh, this one's for me.
Raj, why did you wrote your own name?
Because that was a question.
Oh, okay. Raj, what, you wrote an own question to yourself?
No, I didn't write the question.
You didn't even put me in the...
I didn't write this question. Someone asked a question that directed it to me.
I thought you wrote it.
I wouldn't do that.
I thought you wrote it for yourself. Because this isn't even asking me anything.
I'm gonna monopolize the Crepe Corner.
Okay, Raj,
Can you even read my writing?
Why are you drawn to harem anime? What would the best harem anime ever include in your opinion?
Okay, so the reason I'm drawn to harem anime, this is an excellent question, by the way.
Yeah, glad you wrote it for yourself.
You can probably chime in on this too. You can say why you're not drawn to harem anime.
Okay.
So the reason I'm drawn to harem anime in general is because they're the perfect. They usually are the perfect comedy. I'm a guy who loves his comedy, and in general, harem is the best when it comes to that. A funny harem is the best kind of harem, generally. Usually, I don't watch harem for action. I don't actually watch it. Harem, you're supposed to watch it for the fantasy of being surrounded by a bunch of women. That's not a fantasy for me. That's not something I actually want, ever. I like it for the comedy. The best harem, actually Spencer can argue with me on this one, because it can be classified as one, and it can also not be. The World God Only Knows, in my opinion, is the closest you can get to a perfect harem, because it has all of the girls have amazing character development.
Nisekoi?
All girls. No, I just said World God Only Knows.
But what about Nisekoi?
Nisekoi is not as good.
Yeah, I agree.
World God Only Knows has amazing laugh out loud comedy. And it has a fantastic story with real stakes. Things actually happen.
I'm not going to argue with you.
A big thing... Well, I thought you were going to argue that's not a harem.
No, I completely agree.
Okay.
It's a harem, but it's one that I actually enjoyed.
One big thing that harems do that I don't like is the fact that there's never a consequence. It doesn't matter if someone gets hurt. It doesn't matter if someone gets stabbed in an action harem, because everything always ends nicely. There's never any consequences. God Only Knows is not like that. You don't know if someone's going to come back. People die in that series, and it's lighthearted most of the time. It's a series with actual consequences, and a perfect harem, or actually a really good harem for me, is one where the main character actually chooses a girl. Because I don't like the fantasy of being surrounded by women, I don't care about that. I like the fact that he makes his choice, and he makes it for a good reason, and Golly knows is like that. And, slight spoiler here, he actually chooses a girl that's not even part of the main harem. That's amazing to me.
The reason I don't like harem, I'm just going to lay it out here. One, I hate ecchi a lot. I just don't think it's appropriate. I don't like the fact that I'd have to hide my screen if someone was else in the room, if some anime was on. I think you understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't like the idea that I can't watch it openly.
There was only one anime I ever had to do that for, Gantz. I've talked about Gantz before. Actually really good. Terrible ending. Add that to the spreadsheet. Gantz was actually really good until the ending. But it's pretty erotic in terms of men, because you find out that you need to be psychologically pumped up they have special suits. You have to be psychologically excited to get the suits to work. And the first time the guy got it to work is when he got an erection. So he thought he had to be turned on in order to do it, like in order for the suit to gain power. So it was like that, and it would be kind of, it would define his bulge, let's just say it like that. So there'd be times I'm kind of comfortable here. I really hope no one walks in, because I would have a very difficult time explaining why I'm watching this.
To me, I just, even I can do a normal, if women are clothed and they're busty, I'm okay with that, whatever. But the yokos or the hot spring scenes, I can't. It's just way too much. And so if my parents come in or my nephew comes in or whatever, and he looks, I'm I can't really explain that away.
Is a 2-year-old really gonna?
Yeah, but no, when he gets older, I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's just uncomfortable for me.
Okay.
Anyways, I watched Gurren Lagann. I did, because the story was good enough. I kind of just pushed it aside. But harem, at its core, is just fantasy. It's ecchi fantasy, and so many harems have way too much ecchi. And what I liked about, I agree with you, World God Only Knows, is that there wasn't barely any.
Yeah, there was
It
few
was
incidents.
a pure harem where it was actually about romance and that kind of setting, and not about bodies and sexual stuff and all this jazz. So the reason I don't like harem is because of the over-sexualized tendencies that usually come to be. And so I've just given up on the genre entirely. What I do like is when there's a harem series that knows it's a harem because the storyline is surrounding it. World God Only Knows surrounded that harem because he was doing it on purpose in the plot.
For a harem to work, you need a couple things. You need a main character who's not a total piece of crap. Like, generally they're bland. I can take bland. As long as the girls support him. It has to be one or the other. You need to have a really good main character, or you need to have a good set of girls in the harem. And then you either need good comedy or action. You very rarely have both. And that's what carries the series. It's the characterization of either the girls or the male lead, hopefully both, like God Only Knows did. And then with the comedy and the action. God Only Knows only has one downfall in that it did not have much action. It tried to kind of incorporate more action.
The action was weird.
It tried to incorporate more action near the end, but it didn't.
Way too rushed. It was weird.
It didn't do it very well, but it's the closest the perfect harem can get. Oh man, God Only Knows was great.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'm not like 100% against harem. It's just obviously Valkyrie in the Darkness or Of Darkness.
Terrible.
I'm not interested in it because of the insane amount of ecchi that you're talking about.
You know, if her flight breaks is actually like that. There's no ecchi. It's pure.
But then I might pick it up. Honestly, the only reason I dropped it was because there was so much going on, and it just seemed stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like there wasn't really anything interesting going on, and I was just overwhelmed by the severe amount. Honestly, though, since I dropped it, I've already dropped 2 others, so there might be room for me to watch. There are some dead days, man.
Let's get another question.
This one looks like
every day we go through, like every week we go through couple 2. What? You don't want to do that one? Oh my god!
I haven't even looked. Have you?
Yeah,
I haven't.
All right.
Okay, this is the first one I picked after.
Sorry to whoever looked at that question.
What anime that is placed to
plan to air?
Oh, what?
Wow,
what anime that is planned to air? Well, you missed commas. You don't even have commas in here.
I don't need commas. Come on.
What anime that is planned to air are you looking forward to most? Oh, this is the same question.
No, not really. I guess Log Horizon at this point.
Free.
So okay, I'm going to a couple of cons.
JK.
I'm going to a couple of cons this summer, and there's one thing that you will always see at cons is Kuroko. And now that Kuroko's come back, I know it ended a while ago, but there's a resurgence of Kuroko cosplay, which makes me happy. But free, I am not looking forward to all the free cosplay I'm going to see. I'm going to see a ton of it. Even my friend was like, dude, Free's getting a second season. I'm like, oh no. He's like, yeah, there's going to be a resurgence of free cosplay. I'm like, oh god, no.
That's gross.
I don't want to see that.
Honestly, the other question that we put down was like summer anime. And he looked, I haven't looked yet because I'm just way too busy with the wedding to check that out. But
in terms of summer anime, Sailor Moon is the only one that I can really think of that stands out to me. Here's the problem with asking me about anime charts. For this season, the 3 anime I was looking forward to most, Chaika the Coffin Princess, which I was right about, it's my favorite now. The Kawaii Complex, which I've dropped, and 1 Week Friends, which I dropped.
You know which one I was most excited about?
What?
That ridiculous one where he has to grope the girl every time he starts.
You were excited about that?
Because it looked interesting. It looked like a Gurren Lagann thing. Obviously, I was horribly wrong.
See, you can't judge by the charts.
You have to give it a 3-episode rule, or a 1-episode rule if there's boobs.
But I'm really looking forward to Sailor Moon. The trailer came out a while ago. Did I show you that one?
Explain to everyone what your thoughts were on Sailor Moon.
I like the animation. I like the voices. They sound really nice. I don't like the art style, kind of, because Sailor Moon's either, in the trailer at least, her mouth was either hanging open constantly, or she's doing this weird pout, and they're doing a weird glossy thing with her face. I don't know. She kind of looks like she's a mannequin. In the original anime, they basically took the manga appearance and kind of made it simpler. But now they've taken the manga appearance and made it a bit more complex, and it just looks really weird. I don't know. I might get used to it. I probably will, but it's just weird. All the other Sailor Scouts look fine. They look normal.
I'll be able to tell you what anime I'm interested in probably as it comes up and I start watching trailers. I mean, honestly, I remember watching Breakblade as a trailer and I was pumped. But then we didn't watch it for like 7 weeks after it aired.
Yeah.
Because we just couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, M3 or M8 or whatever that one is. It's garbage.
Yeah.
I dropped it.
Okay.
Did you try it?
No, I won't.
Don't even worry.
I won't.
Just don't.
I take your recommendation to heart.
I've already said M3 a couple times and no one even commented on Twitter, so I'm not even going to worry about it.
Yeah, I won't watch it. I've been told that it's very niche.
Yeah, it's awkwardly dark and kind of etchy.
Are we talking stillborn babies dark? Or?
No.
Okay, because I would watch it if it had that.
I know you would. You've ruined one of our fans. I feel so bad for
Earlier,
him.
he was tweeting. He got to the part where the baby was stillborn, and I was like, "Yes, let the sadness flow through you."
I feel like he's gonna be like weeping at home, and his only outlet is you, and you're gonna encourage him.
He said, he sent me the first tweet was "fuck you, Rush," and then afterwards he's like, "I'm gonna watch a week of comedy straight to
now
cleanse
we have
myself."
to explicit the podcast.
I already said bitch earlier, so
You said it twice.
this is my third time.
I never swear, man. Can't you just?
Do you want to swear?
No.
Would you like to?
No.
Then why complain? Hit the button.
Your logic was great there. Handshake, my friend. I have no words. Oh,
Chaika!
Excellent. This is. I took notes.
Chaika was so good. This is the episode I've been waiting for since day one. I've been wanting to know more about Toru and Akari.
Oh, Akari's so cute.
We've had world building a lot. We haven't delved into the past much. Chaika we can't because she has no memories. But I've been wanting to know more about Toru and Akari. Dude, little Akari was adorable.
She was pretty adorable.
Oh my god. And she still had the giant ponytail, but she had such a tiny body.
His master's pretty cool too.
I think he's going to come back.
He is. Most likely.
Yeah. I really liked it. I liked how Chaika kind of was sad that she didn't have the memories that he did, but at the same time she was happy because she was kind of living them through him.
Well, I like that they addressed the memories thing, and it kept coming up. Like, it wasn't a one-time thing. Like, they're like, oh, you could, if you run out of magic food, you can actually use your own memories. But then later on, Toro's like, so, can you use, like, bad memories? She's like, no, you just can't choose. It's random. It's like, dang, it would have been quite convenient to get rid of all your bad memories and keep the good ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like that banter that they have. It was a really, like, it was one of those, again, Saturday morning awesome cartoons where they're going from town to town trying to find something. They're world building. It's in a festival. It's just good. Like, the world is big and rich and full. They have this Lapida thing coming up soon, and Gillette's group, and they have their own building. It's really nice, honestly.
I like how they show that just because wars ended, now we have all the normal issues that people deal with every day that we do, even in our own real world. The gap between the nobles and the common people, and the poor, how they have no work anymore, how people had to devote their lives to being soldiers, and now that there's no war, there's no work.
You know, honestly, though, everybody in that universe seems to be itching for war again. Even the people in the council are trying to attack that one, like, community.
Peace is always very paper thin. At least in this universe, it feels paper thin.
People make so much money off of war, it's ridiculous.
War is profitable. If they go back to war, all these people will have jobs again.
Yeah.
They'll be able to feed their families and stuff. I love the line he says, I think he said, you can't fill your stomach on justice. He says, the guy said that to Gillette. And that hurt Gillette.
Yeah.
Like, he was shook up. Like, he's like, you're right. He doesn't know what's right anymore.
Gillette is very, I think he spends a lot of time thinking because his character can be swayed a lot by what people say. Because honestly, in between times that we see him, I bet he spends hours and hours just thinking about what he's been experiencing. Because he doesn't seem like a blind guy who follows orders.
He's having an internal crisis because he doesn't know. He's been told that Chaika is evil. He's been told that she'll destroy the world. But he doesn't believe it anymore. So he doesn't know what to do anymore. Should he try to figure it out, go back to Chaika, either capture her to make sure just in case? Should he try to understand her more to, again, figure her out? Should he just go help other people because there are other people that need his help too? Is he just wasting his time here? He's having an internal crisis, and his followers know that it's ultimately up to him. They can try to help and sway him, but they're just trying to keep him together at this point. Like, they're trying to get him to eat. They're trying to get him to go out.
Honestly, I like the part in the story where Akari goes back to make sure that Frederica doesn't do anything with the vehicle. And I like that they're like, okay. And Akari doesn't like, but she does say something. I forgot. Like, she does say if he turns into a wolf, blow your whistle. She just gives him a whistle. Why do you give her a dog whistle? It's just pretty funny. But honestly, Akari is not, like, this series, as much as you said it was harem, is, like I said, a good kind of harem, where he's surrounded by girls, but it's not overstated. It's like total back burner, and the true romance between Rentaro and
Rentaro, that's Black Bullet.
Toru.
Jeez.
You know, I've been doing pretty good these podcasts.
I disagree.
Toru and Chaika. I like that romance. You're rude, man. I'm gonna go cry over here.
You should.
What?
I do love how just at the end she's like, she saw the fireworks with him and she's like, this is a new memory with Toru.
Toru, fireworks, new memory.
Chaika's so sweet. I love this girl. I'm waiting for...
The one thing she said was that really made me funny, or made me laugh. Dang, I totally forget.
Well, so much for that.
She said a string of sentences, like one thing, like great shock or die shock or something like that. Pretty funny. Yeah.
Shocking truth.
Yeah, that one is pretty funny.
I am looking forward, or I'm waiting for Red Chaika to make a reappearance. She'll probably make a reappearance near the climax.
Fans want the reappearance of her cleavage.
Okay, I was looking for Chaika art, like for wallpapers and stuff, and the first image is Red Chaika, and her boobs are like 3 times as big. I'm like, come on, that's completely unrealistic. And she already looks fine the way she is. Like, you don't need to add more bust to that. But someone out there disagreed with me. But yeah, I'm waiting for either more Chaikas to show up or Red Chaika to come back. I doubt we'll get another Chaika this season. We'll probably get another one next season. Maybe a blue Chaika.
I hope so. The way the pacing works in this anime is pretty much that.
Yeah. So, Chaika, still amazing as always. Let's move on. Okay. Kawaii Complex.
So, Kawaii Complex was pretty interesting. It was Mayumi's turn to be in the spotlight of character development, sort of. She was super depressed. Again, she has a really kind of bad personality, is that she doesn't know how to pick men properly, and she always ends up with losers who 1, 2, 3 time her. And so she's having...
Just want to say, the fact that someone can 3-time women, that's very impressive.
Very
You're the scum of the earth. But the fact that you can do that is kind of impressive.
But I mean, honestly, Mayumi, from a normal standpoint, is a good-looking character. But her personality just sucks, because she's just so, like, she's kind of a masochist, a little bit. Toshiro's sadist.
Is she?
Or no, does sadist mean you enjoy people's pain? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Shiro's a masochist. She's a sadist, kind of. She was found on top of Shiro's shoulders, just punching him in the head repeatedly, and Shiro's smiling, of course. And so she begins to, like, talk to everybody in the group as she punches him in the head. She ends up crawling onto the roof, and it turns out she can sing. So she's playing a song, and they're recommending songs that are, like, brutal love songs, and she's singing them, like, super, like, weepily, and, like, she's a pretty good singer, though. Don't mind. So there's that whole Mayumi arc. Apparently, Usa's best friend wants to meet her and whatever, so it's pretty funny. Then, in the middle of the night, there's a kind of a side story where a centipede lands on Ritsu's book that she was reading. So she freaks out, runs into Mayumi's room. She runs into Sayaka's room, or Sumika, sorry, the old lady. And Sumika collects really creepy dolls. So she freaked out. Yeah, it was really freaky.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really creepy. Like, you know those, like, little...
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So she books it into Mayumi's room and, like, accidentally holds up one of Mayumi's panties in front of her and says, there's a centipede. And Mayumi can't see very well with the glasses. So they both freak out, and, like, the whole classic fall on top of Usa thing with Ritsu, and he's like...
Of course.
He's like, oh, excuse me? And then, he gets so mad. He's like, you are wearing absolutely nothing, and I'm super frustrated that I have no reaction to you anymore. You've ruined me. You've absolutely ruined me. He's like, my child is ruined. And it's just like, cause mine was like, what? This is like normal. She's like wearing like her underwear or whatever.
That's such a great response.
And he's like, what? Why? You're ruining my childhood or whatever. So they have this whole thing where Sayaka ends up coming out, and there's this moment where you look up and she's like, oh, is she not going to be wearing her makeup? Fully makeup. Mayumi calls her out that Sayaka took the whole episode getting her makeup ready so she could catch the thing, because she could have been out right away. So they all, like, Usa sleeps outside. They all sleep in the main thing. It's kind of cute. Then at the end of the episode, the friend comes over and he goes, oh, Mayumi, you're gorgeous. You're an amazing woman. Oh, he gets all awkward. He's like, would you go out with me and everything? And
because she's in her underwear?
Yeah, she comes out. Mayumi just kind of goes boom, 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 like womanly confidence. Mm-hmm. And she goes, oh, well, and then she kind of toys with him. And so then, Usa goes, get out of here. You're going to get sucked in. So the episode's called Forbidden, obviously. So he gets kicked out. And then she's like, oh, how old is your, friend? You know, I might consider he's like 15. She's like, ooh, that's a little too young for me. It's like, I only like men who's grown hair down there. And then Usa's like, he's lots of hair. And then Sayaka's like, why do you know that? And then Usa didn't know how to respond. And the whole thing falls apart, and that's the end of the episode. So,
in case any of you don't know, most guys grow hair by the time they're around 13.
Yeah. Except maybe not Japanese guys, you know, they're pretty...
I don't know, I don't actually have any Japanese male friends.
Yeah. Not gonna...
No, I do have one.
Not gonna delve into that. You should ask him.
No.
Yeah,
exactly. That'd be pretty awkward conversation.
It's weird why Usa knows. Well, because he's weird. But anyways, the episode was great because all the characters kind of came out in this kind of midway gag episode. Shiro was a great thing that happened that I missed it was Usa manned up again. Apparently... it's normal to throw hot water on a centipede and then you bag it because it shocks them, and I don't know, something.
Sounds like
anyways,
pretty cool to do. Okay.
Ritsu's running around with hot water and then the centipede is on her back. It ends up lying on her back, and Usa's trying to get it off without telling her, like reaching for like the back. She turns around and she sees it. She starts freaking out, and she like splashes the hot water, and Usa goes no, and like blocks all of like Ritsu, and his whole arm gets burned, like red burned, and then he doesn't say a single word about it. He doesn't say ow. He just says, you know what? He's super manly. He's holding her. He's like, it's gonna be all right. Just calm down. And they're like, oh, awkward moment. At the end of the episode, she sees that he has a burned arm, and she goes, oh my goodness, and like treats him, and they're both blushing. It's really cute.
Okay, 1, that is very manly. Well done, Usa. 2, he's trying a little too hard for this girl, I think.
He really likes her though.
I mean, man, look, I'm just gonna say I would never have done that. You know what? You drop the water, you're gonna burn yourself. I do not want to get burned.
No, but he really likes her, and it's become super apparent by his facial reaction, and she is totally killing for him now. He's totally broke down all those walls. She loves him a lot. It's very nice.
I wonder if girls are into you burning yourself for them.
Probably if you protected her, probably. I would think so.
I've never had to do that, so.
Anyways, Kawaii Complex was really good this week. A solid, decent episode. Mayumi goes back to her, sadistic self, or
of course.
whatever. Shiro gets his pleasures, which is always funny to watch. Sayaka is pretty hardcore, but will never walk around without makeup.
The day she doesn't wear makeup is the day I go back to Kawaii Complex.
Oh, okay.
I'll watch that episode.
Okay, I'll tell you about it. Here's the button, and I'm assuming it's gonna
Please
be.
don't be it for flag breaks.
No, it's gonna be Akuma No Riddle. No, Baby Steps.
Sweet. I don't want to talk about it for flag breaks.
Well, dude, you know what sucks? The only 2 episodes remaining are both yours.
Yeah, that's kind of sucks.
Okay.
Baby Steps. What happened?
So.
Tournament.
Yeah, tournament.
I liked the fact that they skip over a lot of it because. Okay, was this the episode where he got nervous in the first
Yes.
part? Okay.
And she left a cute note?
I didn't like it. I liked the note. I didn't like the nervous thing because it's been done before. It's pretty lame. It's cliche.
He got over it pretty quickly, though.
He did get over it quickly. I was annoyed that it happened in the first place. But the note from Natsu was like, just get together already. Like, come on. You guys are totally in
even
love.
after the match, they were totally flirting. And the rival who he doesn't care about is like getting
never
so
forgive
jealous.
you.
Like, it just sucks. Like, he doesn't even care about
No.
him. It's just because Achan is so focused. Like, he just doesn't care.
I do like how most of it was focused on the first big opponent he has to fight, the new 5th seed. Yeah. So it's a chance at redemption, and this guy, he thinks he has a way to beat Achan, and Achan's not going to figure out anything.
Found his weakness. The thing is, I like what the nose guy, the oblong Squidward nose.
Yeah, the guy who calls him Aniki.
Yeah, the not Aniki guy. He says like, oh, you said this is wrong. You said he's pretty varied. He's not. All he does is ground strokes because he sucks at lobs. So technically, if Achan lobbed a bunch of stuff to him,
we'll see.
We'll see. Achan will figure out a way.
I'm pretty sure Achan will win that one, and then it's kind of iffy with the next one, but he definitely will not make it to the finals.
He's going to get wrecked. There's no way that he's going to win this tournament.
He's going to be beaten either by the 2nd or 3rd seed.
One thing that I was excited about was the fact that this series has an amazing pacing in that it's already been a year. We're 7 episodes in. And I don't know about the manga, but honestly, I really hope that they leave high school because I think that would be really cool.
I don't think they'll do that.
And like they do a part-time job thing because I want more seinen series. There's too much high school.
The only sports anime that I've seen that's done that is Eye Shield, and that was at the very, very end of the last chapter.
Yeah, I guess so. But even Eye Shield didn't go. Eye Shield was long, man. And Eye Shield, this pacing is way faster than Eye Shield.
Yeah, well, I mean, Eye Shield's still the undefeated king of sports series.
It's true. Kuroko's getting there, but...
Kuroko's second best, but you can't beat Eye Shield. It's too
good. You ready for yours? Baby Steps is good. There's nothing else to say.
Please be Akuma. Please be Akuma. Damn it! Ugh.
Okay, I need to stretch, so I'll be listening, though. And I'll talk to you about it. I just gotta stretch.
God damn it, this episode... So let me go through my thought process in this episode. Spencer's just dancing on the sidelines here.
It's hot.
So they start the episode with a bunch of exposition. And I was like, okay, I can keep up with this. And then they just keep throwing more exposition at you over and over and over. I had to stop like 10 minutes in and I had to rewind to the beginning. I'm like, I can't remember all this. I have to write this down. And I wrote it down. So they give you a legend. Tell me if any of this sounds familiar because, I mean, if you have half a brain, you'll be able to figure this out pretty quickly. So there's a kingdom which had 2 queens and who ruled it, but the kingdom was overrun with demons. There was a goddess who found a boy who was about to die, and she saved him and gave him her powers because she was tainted by the demons. And he became a royal flag for this kingdom. Metaphorically, he was their flag. And he would drive demons away with his light. And heroes would take him into battle, metaphorically again as a flag, to just in the battle because knights bring the flag and stuff. So the knight, the magician, the bishop, and the ninja die at the first gate. Does that sound familiar to you? So the knight, Nanami, the magician, who is Akane, the bishop, who is his adopted sister, and the ninja, which is the robot Ruri, they are the ones who opened the first gate because he got them all together. Then afterwards, the samurai, who is Mei, is cursed and loses all of her memories at the second gate, which has already happened. That was when she broke his death flag, or when she stopped it from advancing in power. And then it reveals at the final gate, the queen was separated from the rest of the heroes and took the flag and ran. Which basically means one of the girls, because there's 2 princesses in his harem, one of the girls he's going to end up with. Or he's going to run away and he's going to be secluded with them. So, okay, so he goes to the palace with, something else. God damn it, this episode sucked. So, what happened is, after they walk to the city, after getting off the train, right, from last episode, and he's like, what do we do? And Nanami's like, don't worry, someone's gonna come for us soon. Zero shows up and her entire, council, 7 virtues or whatever, and they're like, alright, let's go to the palace. Apparently, they work for her country. And they're, in close ties with the king, except they're not. So, they bring him to the castle, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go see your grandpa, or our dad, sorry. So, Nanami's older brother shows up, and this guy, his face is so detailed compared to everybody else's. I'm like, evil. That's Ganondorf. I'm looking at Ganondorf right now. And then he's like, oh, hi, Nanami, I missed you so much. Oh, you're such a good girl.
You think this is Legend of Zelda? Is that what you've been saying?
No. Oh. I don't think so. God, this anime sucks sometimes. So, he leaves later, and then it's revealed that Zero is the one who orchestrated the assassination attempt with him. So he's the one who tried to kill his younger sister. The berserker. And then, God, this plot is so bad. So, Nanami's dad dies. Apparently he was sick or something. And then it's revealed that her brother is actually her father, and her father was actually her grandfather. And so he used the assassination to claim the throne, saying his other brothers, his actual brothers and sisters, tried to kill his kids so he wouldn't have any legitimate heirs. And it's also revealed that he asked Zero, what would you have done? What would we have done if you had actually killed my heir? He didn't look worried. He just looked curious. And she said, I would have just made you more.
Ooh, that love.
I don't see it as love at all. This is, God damn it.
Honestly, I don't see why you think it's so bad.
It's unnecessary. There was no comedy in this episode.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So Hakua, who is the berserker, the other princess.
Hakua?
Yeah, her name's Hakua. Like in God Only Knows, I know.
Really?
Yeah.
How come you've never mentioned that name before?
Because I didn't know her name until this episode.
Oh, okay.
She has this really annoying habit of repeating the last 2 words of her sentence over again. And by the way, I have to give praise to the translators for actually working that in to where it can sound plausible. But it's annoying. It's just always the last 2 words she'll repeat. And I don't know how it does not drive so crazy. And his adoptive little sister...
Can you explain that for someone who hasn't watched it?
If I was going to say, I like bananas. Banana ga skides. Skides. She would always end it like that.
Oh, instead of des or something, she says skides?
It's the last 2 words of the sentence. Whatever those last 2 words were, she will always repeat. And his younger adoptive sister, she hasn't got much screen time, so I've been able to not notice it. But this episode really got to me. She works the word arimas into every single sentence she says. Every single one ends with her saying some variation of arimas. It's so grating. And those 2 had screen time together this episode. Oh my God. When they spoke, I wanted to just kill myself. It was horrible. It was I just can't take this. This is so bad. So moving on from those girls. They basically have a celebration, a festival to celebrate their real father getting a coronation to be king. And at the same time they had a funeral. Well, they had a funeral before then.
Is no one concerned that they tried to kill Nanami?
No. So they had a funeral.
What?
They had a funeral.
Well, who died?
Nanami. Nobody did. Just the robot did.
Why are they having a funeral?
For the grandpa.
Oh, he died.
Oh yeah. I said.
Well, that's what I asked.
Sorry, I forgot. Look, he's literally never been shown.
Okay.
So he dies. They have a funeral. The girls are sad. So this is actually really funny what happens. Oh, I didn't write it down. Okay, but I remember what happens. There's 2 comedy moments in this episode. Everything else was complete garbage as far as I'm concerned. One, Sota and May, or not May, what's her name? What was the name of the trap? Megu. Sota and Megu are confused for performers, so they take them. They're like, "You're supposed to be wedding performers." So they dress Sota in a suit. They dress Megu in a wedding dress.
Oh, jeez.
And then, like, Megu's like, okay, like he's holding it together. And then, like, Sota's like, we'll just get over this. But then people are saying, "That's such a beautiful bride. Oh, I wish it could be that pretty. Oh, she's so, like, her skin's so smooth." And then, like, Nanami overhears. He's like, "Oh, everybody, let's go see." And then Megu's like, he sees that they saw him, and he freaks out, and he just screams. He does the typical girl scream, the kia, and he's like, "They saw me!" And then, like, he's sobbing, and like, "It's okay, Megu, it looked good on you." And he's like, "Now I can never be a bride." And they're like, "What, you wanted to be a bride?" He's like, "No, but he's like, "I have to be a groom, but I want to be a bride." It's like, what the hell? I don't understand this character anymore, but he's hilarious. Another funny thing that happened is, Sota, of course, figures out that the berserker girl, Hakua, is feeling sad because, her grandpa just died, who she thought was her dad for the last God knows how many years she's been alive. And he's like, "Listen, I see that you're sad. We can talk about it." She's like, "Really?" And she gets a flag. And he's like, "On second thought, you should probably talk to Nanami." She's like, "No, but I feel like I can trust you." And he says, "Oh God, it's the annoying girl flag. Once she clings to you, she never lets go." And he's like, no, listen, Nanami is really good at talking to people. Like, she can listen. She's like, "No, I feel safe around you."
Oh,
and he's
no.
like, no. And he's like, he's completely trapped. He's like, "Well, no." I love that he's rejected her completely, but he can't do anything about it. Like, she's dug her claws into him, and he's stuck. So that was funny. So Sota actually finds out this, he sees this stone tablet, which has a fairy tale. Zero shows up, tells him the fairy tale, and Sota freaks out because he's like, if this fairy tale is, a metaphor for my life, it's revealed at the end that what happens is the last princess dies, a golden hair princess, so it's Nanami. And then the flag keeper gives his life to resurrect all the heroes. So Sota's to die to bring everybody else back.
Even Nanami?
Including Nanami. And then it said that he actually turns into a flag at the end.
Feels like that should happen, man.
But here's the thing. The other heroes have already died. Like, they've had death flags, all the other girls, and he's broken them. So he hasn't had to die to bring them back. So I'm guessing he's gonna have to die to bring Nanami back, but then he'll come back somehow
or
too.
Nanami's gonna get a death flag and he'll break it. Just like
But Nanami still never had a flag. We still don't know.
Oh.
And Zero says, she tells him, like, if you could save this world by dying, would you do it? What is this world to you? Is the world just hate? And he has a flashback, and he thinks internally, he believes that his death flag is an aggregation of everybody's hate towards him. Because people are mad, I guess kind of understandably, that he's the only one that has survived the Titanic. Like, people lost their lovers and their family. Like, why is this one kid the one who lives? Why couldn't it be my dad or my mother or my wife or my son? Right? So he's like, all of their hate is aggregated onto the flag, and that's why it's so powerful. To the point where he tried to commit suicide. He took a knife and put it to his own throat and tried to kill himself.
Ooh.
But he just couldn't go through with it. I was actually, when it flashed back to that, I was like, do it. I felt like the Emperor from Star Wars, like, do it.
I felt like
kill yourself. Do it.
Like this is a heavy-handed harem, man.
Yeah. So, and then Zero's like, "I'll wait for your answer some other day," and she walks away. And she goes to this stupid little jail cell, and there's someone missing, and she says, she doesn't say who the person is, but she says, "No matter what you do, you cannot save Sota. His destiny's already been written. You cannot save my little brother." So it's revealed that Zero is his older sister who died on the Titanic.
Oh.
Yeah. This episode sucked. There's too much plot. There's not enough comedy. We already talked about harem and why I like harem. You either need the comedy or you need the action. This had neither. It had a very small pieces of comedy and then just so much heavy-handed stuff. This harem is enormous. Like, there's so many girls and one trap in this harem that I've gone to the point where I don't want anymore. Like, just stop, please.
But we knew that from the beginning.
There's too many. I can't take this. But they can't. They're not balancing them well. None of the girls are getting much development. They each get maybe half an episode.
That you can't do any more than that.
But it sucks. I don't like these girls. The only one I like is Megu. Because, actually, I like Nanami now because she's pretty funny. Just the way she gets jealous of everybody. She gets jealous that people spend time with Sota, not that he's spending time with them. Like, she wants to be the center of attention. Yeah. I want the series to end. I'm getting kind of sick. Getting sick of the plot.
Just drop it.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Because when it's funny, man, is it funny.
Yeah. I hit the
right.
button by accident.
Oh, did you?
Because I thought it was over, but we apparently have to talk about The World Is Still Beautiful. This is going to be ridiculously, like, this is a 2-hour podcast, man.
Oh, no, we'll end it before then. We're close. We can end this in the next 5 minutes. I believe in us.
I believe it. Okay, so The World Is Still Beautiful is still beautiful.
Well, maybe 10 minutes. I was hoping that it wouldn't do it. This anime is filled with tropes, shoujo tropes and romance tropes in general. It did the whole, someone got sick in my home country, we have to go back. And I believed that she was on her deathbed. I'm like, come on, this anime is not going to do this to me. Lo and behold, as soon as they get there, she's perfectly fine. She just wants to see Nikke again.
Yep.
I'm sick of that.
And apparently there's some childhood friend who liked Nikke and was sad she was gone. And honestly, the whole episode was wasteful.
Until
the kiss.
That kiss was nice.
It was a very nice kiss.
Beautiful.
I thought it was a forehead kiss, actually.
And it was Nikke who started it.
Well,
it wasn't
she's getting all these tinglies and stuff from this 12-year-old boy.
She feels this thing in her heart. She's like, I don't know what this feeling is, but
I love how she was kind of red on the cheeks, but Nikke or Livy was just red.
beet red, and Neil was like, Your Highness, what happened?
But then it's like the scary one-eyed coon is like
that's what we call him, One-Eyed Coon.
One-Eyed Coon, like he was like kind of mad, and honestly, it's just gonna fall apart. Like Nikke's are gonna be
Livy will probably get a little bit jealous. Nikke's not gonna give a crap.
Talk her way out of it because she's shoujo, and everyone will like each other, and then they'll leave.
Yeah, the best part of this episode, though, easily, was the 3 generals.
Oh, me and you laughed way harder than we probably should. Okay, the 3 generals, if you didn't watch that part or you skipped over, they were all super excited for a trip. They were planning it, being super
like,
giddy.
This is what we're gonna buy. We're gonna go eat here. We're gonna drink this kind of alcohol.
They're so happy. All of a sudden, Livy comes out and goes, "You guys gotta stay home. Bye."
So it's just me, Nikke, and Neil. That's it. And then he leaves. And then it cuts back to like 10 minutes later, and they're in the exact same spot, holding like their brochures and stuff.
With like a voiceover like, I don't know what to do about them.
Like, they won't eat, they won't move, they're frozen.
I felt so bad for them because it's been like 3 days. I was just laughing because I told Rashpreet, I was like, look, these guys got such an OP introduction, and now they're just like loser comedic relief.
I love them. It's so funny.
So, The World Is Still Beautiful is classic shoujo. Honestly, you're not missing much if you're not watching it, but we were talking, we were like, oh, isn't it kind of weird that their age difference? But I'm like, if she's like 18, maybe 20, oldest.
She's somewhere between 16 and 20.
You said 20. And I'm like, well, if he's like 14 or 13-ish, that's only a 6-year difference, honestly.
I think it's just because he's so short, it kind of throws me off.
He might be shorter than, I think so.
I do love how his sisters just like fawned over him and made him dress up. One of her sisters is literally Nikke's face, but with
all of them are
different
Nikke's
hair.
face.
No, but the other ones look different.
Yeah.
But the other one looks exactly the same, but like blonde.
Well, with the green eyes and everything, yeah. Anyways, it was a good episode.
Actually, I was really excited. I was like, wait a minute. Spencer, weren't all of her sisters like extremely attractive? You're like, yeah. I was like, yes, we're going back to our country. I was actually excited. But and then they show the one I didn't like at first. Like, oh great, you're here.
The one that's like not that attractive and boyish.
I'm like,
short hair.
Give me the ponytail, damn it.
It was funny the way they like dragged Livy around and
it was great.
Made him pose.
Yeah,
I love that in the pictures you could see the dark cloud. It was funny.
He just didn't want to be there.
Are you ready to talk about your favorite?
I'm
episode?
actually really looking forward, or I'm hoping, I want to see because they can all summon rain.
Yeah.
If they all sing at the same time, do we get super rain? Do we get a super storm
with harmonies and everything?
Could you imagine that version Tender Rain?
It would still not beat our.
Could you imagine a heavy metal Tender Rain? There's one of them like sings heavy metal.
Honestly, it'd be better than the one we got now. Because they're saying that Nikke is not the best singer. I want to hear what they sound like.
Yeah, I'm curious.
It would sound better, I think, with harps.
All right, just move on.
They better be harps.
Last one. Holy crap, Akuma no Riddle was amazing this week. This was the last assassin. She invites him to a tea party.
Is it over?
No, I'm actually very surprised that they went this way. Last assassin comes. Actually, the very first assassin escapes from jail, and she comes back. She's like, I'm gonna be the one who kills Haru.
Who was she again?
The serial killer with the scissors.
Creepy.
And she shows up. She sees the last girl, and she's like, no, Haru's mine. And she stabs her with the scissors, and the girl blocks it with her hand, breaks the scissors, and immediately I'm like, auto mail. I just call him like, that's auto mail, because it's been done a million times. And she's like, you're rude. And she ties her up in a straitjacket, and she's like, we're gonna have a tea party. She made fake puppets that look exactly like every single other assassin to sit at that tea party, and then it has a one girl in the straitjacket who's like, she does not want to be there. She's trying to break out, but she's stuck. And it was pretty interesting. She invites Haru, and Haru like shows up in a nice dress because she gives her dress, and Tokaku's there. She's like, I didn't invite you, and Haru's like, I'm not going unless Tokaku goes. And she's like, fine. And they bring her in. It's entirely like, it's a really nice place. Like they have nice tea and all these cakes and stuff. And then suddenly she's like, all right, let's do this. She like throws her little invitation, like her assassination invitation. And what she does this weird thing where she takes like a fighting pose, and then all the puppets spring into life, and they go just swarm Tokaku. And what she does is she lines the walls with weapons of all sorts. And so Tokaku just like gets a submachine gun and starts shooting the puppets. In the meantime, there's this glass case splitting the room in half. Haru's on one side and the other girl's on one side while Tokaku's busy. And Tokaku can't make it through. So what she does is like she takes like a rope, ties it around the other girl's feet, and drags her back to her side. And she's like, this is between you and me. You don't get to Haru until I'm dead. And I'm like, oh god, this is amazing. So Tokaku fights. She gets wrecked so hard.
Tokaku?
Yeah, she gets destroyed. This girl punches Tokaku once. She hits a wall and she's down. And Tokaku's like, what's going on? Because she tries to stab her with a knife and she breaks the knife.
Oh, automatic.
And she's like, let me show you my true form. And she like, I don't know, she flexes or something and all the skin like breaks from her limbs. So both her legs and her arms are auto male. And then for some reason, the rest of her clothes also broke. So she's like wearing, I guess, a bikini top or a bra. I don't know. It was pretty fancy. So I don't know if it was one or the other. And like, I can't even call this underwear because all it does is cover the front half of her pelvis because her ass is totally exposed. And I'm like, this is not battle clothing. Like, cause before like it showed that part, she looked like she was in battle outfit. Cause she removed her dress and she was like wearing battle clothes and she broke it for some reason. Anyway, she destroys Tokaku. She just ruins her. And then Tokaku, or the serial killer breaks free and she's like, I want revenge against the girl. She stabs her automail arm with her knife. And then she gets knocked out and the observer comes. And by the way, remember when I told you about, I wasn't sure if they're tattoos or not on the observer?
Yeah.
They're tattoos.
Oh.
They're like two dragons that wrap around her body and then they stare at each other
But it doesn't
at
look
her
like
chest.
muscles? Or
It looked like muscles in
okay.
the shower. It was kind of fuzzy. But like, it was scary, man. Because when the serial killer saw her, she like, for some reason, like she was fully clothed, but she saw the observer in her tattoos, like without any clothes. And it was terrifying. And she's like, you're not supposed to be here. And she was legitimately afraid of this girl. So there's something going on with her. So Tokaku kicks the scissors into the automail that breaks it. So the girl just pops her arm off. And I was like, please, 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 to make this episode perfect, attach a gun to that arm. And she attached a gun to the arm. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And she has a Gatling gun on her arm, shoots everything up. And then Tokaku like shoots a chandelier, falls on the girl. She picks up with her automail, chucks it at Tokaku. Tokaku's out. And like she's bleeding. And then Haru's like, she takes a bazooka and this glass is bulletproof so it can't break. So she blows up the door that had locked behind him and she books it. And she's like, oh, now that Tokaku's there, you're gonna run. I mean, I would have done the same.
Yeah.
So the girl, the glass lifts up. She goes for Haru. She sees the elevator going down and she's like, she rips open the doors. She jumps on the elevator and starts shooting in it. Haru comes up. She wasn't actually in the elevator. She looks down the elevator, has a armful of grenades, drops it down the elevator shaft and books it. And then it blows up and the girl's like, the rich girl's climbing back up. She's like, I'm gonna murder you so bad. And then like they meet on like a rooftop and then she's like, this is over for you, Haru. And she like shoots like these.
Did she not get injured at all by the grenades?
No.
She has flesh though.
I know, but
Well,
it didn't hurt her
whatever.
for some reason. She had like a few scratches. She like throws like these harpoons from her nails, kind of. They're like claws. Like, they're like projectiles. And they're like supposed to grab Haru and like pull her towards her. But Haru dodges. Really impressive how Haru does this episode. This is really good. And it hits the railing. So Haru grabs this girl and jumps off the railing with her. And then Haru like starts climbing up the chains or whatever. And she
Claw
starts
chains?
Yeah. And she starts kicking the girl. And the girl's like, what are you doing? And Haru's like, I'm the only one who gets to live. And she kicks her and the automail breaks. And the girl's like, and Haru's like, I'm sorry. And then like she just falls and splat. And it's like, and the observer girl comes out. She's like, yeah, she ain't living after that. And then Haru just walks up. She goes to Tokaku. Tokaku's like all hurt. She's like, it's over. I did it. And I was like, Haru's so badass. Oh my god. This was such a good episode. This was the best episode the series had. Oh my god, why hasn't it had more of this?
Because it has to build up.
Holy shit, man.
You wouldn't have been as appreciative if it happened all the time.
The rich girl said something to Tokaku, said, Haru says, if I can grant your wish, I can do it without fighting. I'll try to do it without fighting. And she said, my wish is to kill you. Because we're both queens. We're both queen bees. And there can only be one queen. And Tokaku actually asked her, she says, what did she mean by when she said that? And she said, I can't tell you right now.
Well, there's a reason that Haru had to be targeted by all these people. There has to be.
Yeah.
She's not as simple as
But now
everyone
she's
thinks.
hiding something. Like, she actually knows she's hiding something. She can't tell Tokaku. There's 3 episodes left. There's no assassins left other than Tokaku. I don't know where this series is going to go. I'm actually pretty excited. This episode was amazing.
That sounded pretty intense.
Oh my god, it was good. I was watching it with my neighbor came over to watch to just hang out, Georgie, and he was watching. He's like, I have no idea what's going on, but man, this is cool. Oh man, Akuma no Riddle. Holy crap, you've stepped it up this episode. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for next week.
I'm happy that one of your anime that you're following without me is turning out well.
Yeah, god damn it. If it like breaks, why'd you have to be so crappy this week?
Well, at least you got one, what do you call a female harem?
Reverse harem.
Oh. No, but like a female-only harem.
This isn't a harem, though.
Oh.
Because, actually, at this point, Haru is completely in love with Tokaku. You see, like, she's always blushing and stuff around her. Tokaku, no. She's just normal Tokaku. I like how that Yuri is very downplayed.
You did it.
Yeah, that's it for the recap. I'm tired.
I'm tired too, man.
That was a lot of talking.
We still have to review Laputa too.
Yeah, we'll take a break before we do that. I'm really hungry. I can hear you some growling.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, we can review Laputa later in the night. I think we should
Go shopping.
Go shopping, do our stuff. Then
We got a ditto.
Yeah, we do. What do you call a two guys anime?
BL?
We don't talk about that.
I don't know.
Anyways, you want it? I don't.
I don't what? I don't want BL with you. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
there's a couple episodes ago you were wanting it. You're saying it's not too late.
I didn't mean with me.
You were.
Look, if
our
you-
knees were touching, and you were like, "It's not too late, man."
Look, I'm not talking about with me. Spencer, you're a nice guy and all, but you're not my type.
Wow. So I just got rejected by you?
Yeah.
Just got rejected. I'm glad I had my
Look,
fiancé.
if you want the BL end, I know some guys.
No,
they're pretty good looking.
No,
they're nice
no,
guys.
no,
They don't like
no.
anime though.
No. Oh, it's out.
They work out though.
No. See, honestly though, you're not my type either. Just gonna throw it out there.
So I'm okay with that.
I
See?
wouldn't be a good. Your weight difference is too large.
That throwback. All right, let's wrap this up. We got Lappy to go through. All right, so I guess that's it. Next week we will be reviewing Howl's Moving Castle along with another recap. What we have after that is a surprise. We won't reveal what other Ghibli movies we're going to do yet.
Yeah, we're kind of taking your guys' suggestions, but also
There's one for sure that we got now.
I'm a huge Ghibli fan, an absolute ridiculous manic Ghibli fan, and so my opinion takes precedence. Sorry, but I will take your opinions because honestly, I didn't even know that Whisper of a Heart and The Cat's Return were kind of spiritual successors, so that's kind of cool.
Okay.
Anyways,
I'm Raj of James Brown.
And I'm Spence of James and Brown.
We'll see you guys next week with Howl's Moving Castle and another recap.
Bye!
ずっとずっとずっと初めて君が触れた日すごくドキドキしただから全てを追って心の涙花や風の周りもこのスープのようにも消えちゃっても一緒にいられたらいいや小さな想いやふくら音がした
Here we go!
聞こえる愛の歌もっとそばにいさせて色や形を変え守ってあげよう聞こえる愛の歌見つめているなら追っかけた日々がさえ愛しいかなわ
Yeah. Whew.
Well done.
Was that the fifth try?
Yeah. High five.
Oh man.
Damn, we're good.
Whew. We should be professional.
Oh, dude, karaoke podcast. It's coming.
It's coming up. J&B karaoke.
You heard it here first.
Okay.